We have one pass for all 3 days. I only want one day. If we get a red carpet, so you can be able to do, we're gonna be together, so we can go back and forth, and I'm gonna be out, so we can do the show.
Yeah.
But you can handle the day 2 and 3 also, because I'm after day one, I'm gonna do the show, but I don't want to be nowhere near them.
Okay.
So I let you know. Um, so we're working on Ivan Carter trying to get us another pass too.
Okay.
So all
Well,
right,
I'm already set up. My plane leave out
I
Wednesday
leave.
morning.
I leave Wednesday morning also.
So
Yeah, I leave Wednesday morning. Hey, we live, baby. Welcome to the TD Report. We're getting y'all ready for this big old draft. There he is, Dave at the basketball baseball game.
What's
There
up?
he is. Talk to us,
Hey,
Dave.
Hey, man. TD report. We're gonna be all over the place, everybody. Thanks
oh,
to
good.
our loyal listeners. Usually we have DK on here. We really appreciate y'all, but we're gonna be busy this next 2 weeks.
oh
Cody
yeah.
is in Miami. Tony is gonna be in Vegas. Jody Coleman's gonna be in Vegas. Dev is gonna be joining me at the Maryland Live, and Tommy, our Washington Commanders insider, is going to be there, and I'm excited about this, guys. This is going to be great.
I,
It's and Tony, you and I go way
Oh,
back from doing these doing the high school showcase games, doing it on a peanut butter and jelly budget, and making it look good, right?
you're
And
at the
that's kind of
baseball
what we
game right
do.
now, right?
That's
You
where we
know,
are now. We're gonna
hey
bang it
Cody,
out.
how's Miami, buddy?
Oh, it's great, man. It's
Show
great.
him the
I'm loving
You
it.
stadium,
got on your
Cody.
balcony? That's your
Yeah,
Yeah, show
yeah,
him
balcony?
the
yeah.
stadium.
Yeah,
Look at the
that's,
stadium. We got them.
Oh, oh, we
that's
are
right there.
in it. Yo, Cody, we
they got
outside.
a they got a game going on right now. It's crazy. The people down there selling their driveway spots for parking money.
No shit.
Yeah, it's wild.
Cody.
But when the sun goes
Yo.
down, the lights are shining. It's crazy out there. Yeah, but it's pretty cool. I'm like just far enough away from the hecticness. Everything's soundproof here, so
Well,
I'm good.
you got NBA playoffs going on right now. So why don't we start
Yeah,
with that real quick and then we
they're
can get
they're
to some of the
about
draft stuff.
Miami's about their stadium is probably about 18 minutes that way.
18 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Miami Heat put it on the Atlanta Hawks. Their 2 games in Miami. They just they just beat the Hawks up. Just physically really picked up on what the officials were laying down as far as this is how we're going to officiate this series. They've been getting after Trae Young. Trae Young had a great game in game 2. Game 1, they shut him down. Game 2, he played much better, but Jimmy Butler took it to another level. I think it was 45, dropped 45 on him. I'll say this: if Jimmy Butler can score anywhere near what Trae Young is going to put in, uh,
Series over.
Atlanta Hawks can't deal with that.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that it's not over because we remember last year the 76ers did the same thing to Trae Young. Let's not forget that Clint Capella did not play in those 2 games on the road, and we all know that role players play differently on the road. I think Atlanta still has a shot in this series. It's not completely over because if Jimmy Butler has to go off like that every night because he's not a prolific scorer like that every night, I think Atlanta don't count Atlanta out too soon.
Okay, I can dig it. It just those 2 games in Miami. I saw a different Heat team. The Heat have, I think it's what is it, Jody? 7 undrafted. I mean 7. There are about 7 guys on that roster that are undrafted.
Damn.
Well, and they got a lot of late round picks on that team. If you look across their roster, they don't have any guy that was a like a lottery pick, so to speak. You got
No
Jimmy
top
Butler,
fives. No
right? You
top
got
5 picks.
Jimmy
None.
Butler was a late round pick to the Bulls. You got Bam, who was a mid teen pick. You got Tyler Hero was a mid teen pick. And Kyle Lowry, you know about Kyle Lowry, the guy out of Villanova that really been a journeyman until he got an opportunity to really shine with Toronto. They got a lot of guys that's just real gritty. Hey, Spoelstra is one of the best coaches in the league. He a top 3 coach in the league. We got to give the credit to him.
These guys are gritty. they don't take no trash. Talk to me, Tony.
Can I ask you a question? Has a team ever won the NBA championship without a top 5 player drafted?
I would have to
Golden
go
State,
way back on that.
would it be
Let me check
Golden State?
I'm gonna have to say yeah.
No, because it wasn't Golden State because they had Andrew Bogut. Andrew Bogut was the number 1 pick of the draft.
Andrew Bogut was the number 1 pick.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it wasn't Bogut. Let me check some notes. I got some notes here. Maybe
Yeah, I'm pulling some stuff up now.
I don't think a team
Maybe,
has ever
you know
won
what? It might be a Milwaukee because Giannis was not a top pick. Chris Middleton was not a top 5. They didn't. I don't think they had a top 5 pick on that team.
That might be, yeah, because you got to think Drew Holiday was a team pick. He was a mid.
Yeah, he was in the teens. Yeah, he wasn't no top 5. So it might be the Milwaukee Bucks. And Tony, great segue as usual. Milwaukee Bucks just had a serious injury to their roster. Chris Middleton going down.
When was Devin Booker drafted?
Booker was
Booker
19.
Booker would have been
19.
Booker's a top 5.
No, Booker was a he was a 6 man on Kentucky's team. I think he
So
was
what?
a team.
So what
he
about
was
the
a team
Phoenix
pick.
Suns?
They didn't win,
The Suns haven't won a title, but
Chris Paul was
I'm
the
tripping.
number 2
Oh,
pick.
you're just talking about what? Yeah, I got you.
yeah. We're talking about high lotteries.
You can kind of use that to kind of gauge to
Raptors,
where
maybe.
who's going to win.
Well, without Chris Middleton, who they need that second
Cody,
and
let
third.
Dev in.
Yeah,
They're gonna.
they need that
My fault.
they need that complementary scorer, and Chris Middleton is that relief valve for Giannis. Look, Giannis has increased his shooting ability, his shooting range, but losing Chris Middleton forever, how long they're going to lose him, is going to impact their ability to continue to move forward. Hey, thanks for joining us, Devin. How you doing, man?
What up,
What's up,
Dev?
fellas? What's up, fellas? Hey, I heard y'all talking about the Hawks and the Heat. This isn't the same Hawks team from last year. They don't have a chance of coming back because last year they had Capella was healthy. Don't forget, traded away the dude from Duke. He played big minutes for them last year at some point.
Cam Reddish.
Cam
He
Reddish.
played well for them in the playoffs. He really did.
Yeah,
He stepped
he
up.
did.
When Trae Young got hurt and they played Milwaukee, he stepped up huge.
And I agree with you there,
And
Devin.
what's the name isn't healthy. John Collins has got that messed up hand. He's just not the same John Collins we saw, the athleticism that he showed last year, all the dunks he was getting, the rebounds, the block shots. This isn't the same Hawks team. They've been
Collins isn't
rightly-
healthy, and DeAndre
Collins
Hunter
isn't
doesn't
healthy.
look right to me. He doesn't look right to me either.
not aggressive enough for me. He's too passive.
A little too
And
passive. I agree.
With the way that with the team they have, he needs to be more aggressive because they're bringing Bogdanovich off the bench, which is instant offense. Gallinari's going to score, but he couldn't guard any of us in the phone booth. So
No.
that's the problem with that. So
But Dev, you're a coach, and you know that players play different
also
on the road.
understand that the Miami Heat have been overlooked, and they playing with house money because everybody is counting them not to be nowhere.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I
every
didn't
game
expect
for
them
them
to
is
do
more
anything.
important to what it would be to everybody else. Everyone's saying they're the worst 1 seed we've ever seen, and they're letting people know we got 3 top 5 defenders that start for us, and Kyle Lowry, Jimmy Butler,
Hey,
and Bam Adebayo,
can-
and PJ
can I-
Tucker's in that list too.
can I ask y'all guys something?
Tough enough.
We
You
gonna
crying
start
about
calling.
the physicality. That you got to go meet force with force. Stop crying.
Yeah, we're going to start calling this the Cody effect.
Call them out.
Since Cody has announced that he was going to Miami, the Marlins are winning. They traded for that damn cheetah, and the Dolphins are on top, and the Heat is winning. What the
They
hell
heard I
is
was
going
coming.
on?
They heard I was coming.
He can't
They
help
heard I
you,
was
so it don't
coming.
matter. Cody can't
Hey,
help
listen.
you get any better, so it don't matter.
There's
Cody,
nothing
what's the
better
Cody
for
effect?
They're next on the list.
There's nothing better for sports than to have Miami have a lot of great sports teams, pro teams in that town.
Just tell them don't put Alabama on the schedule again. Just stay away from us.
But they
Oh,
wanna
here
do
it
this.
comes.
Stay away from us. Tell Ohio State to stay away from us too. Stay away
Hey,
from us.
listen.
Hey,
The
whoa,
boys don't wanna see that.
whoa, stop. Oh, Ohio State coming to see y'all, Alabama. Trust and believe. We
Hey,
ready. We
No, I
ready.
like that. No, I like that.
Stay ass.
We ready. We are ready.
No,
for
you know what?
Alabama, man. We ready.
I like. Here's the one
played
thing
y'all.
I
It was a
do.
4-touchdown win. We're gonna kick their ass.
This is the
ain't
one
got
thing
Devontae Smith this year.
I'm gonna go.
Don't
I'm
have
gonna
to have
give
Devontae.
Virginia.
We got plenty other guys, man.
They talk
I'm gonna
Plenty
give
other guys.
Virginia Tech some credit here too, and I like the attitude by Ohio State. The one thing I always liked about Virginia Tech in football, they say they'll play anyone anywhere.
Play
They don't.
anybody, they will.
We'll come to your place. It ain't
Yeah.
It ain't nothing. They like
That's
that,
who we are.
and
That's
I
all
like.
right. Y'all saw me on the sideline. I was
Y'all
on the
used to go-
sideline down there. You know
Virginia
how we
Tech-
do it down at Hokie Land, baby.
Virginia Tech
Y'all
used
need
to go
stop
down
this
to the.
shit.
Virginia Tech used to go down to the OB and start ruckus down there. They used to go down there.
That's
Hey,
when we
had
got
a-
our first
hey,
championship.
Me and Tony, the only ones that did a show since the Jayhawks won the championship. So I told y'all they were gonna win it all, didn't I?
Oh yeah,
I
you
said that
did.
when we
You
started.
did.
I said they were gonna win it all.
Oh Lord, here
Come
we
on
go
down.
with this.
Yeah,
Hey,
that was crazy.
hey.
I
Here
tried
we
to
go.
tell y'all, man.
Here we
Hey.
go,
we
Jody.
had some
Here we
goons on
go
that
with
team
this
this year, man.
crap.
We had
Y'all
goons.
made
Pull up
Jay
the
Wright
bracket.
retire. What y'all trying to do over there, man? Y'all made Jay Wright quit.
No, Jay Wright left because he can't deal with the transfer portal. That's the word I got. The transfer
Yeah,
portal is
they-
too much for him.
I agree. You know what?
And
The
I
transfer
also
portal-
credit him and I credit Roy Williams for making sure that the melanated guys that's been under them a long time got those jobs. Coach K kept his melanated guy from getting the job.
Yeah, that's not,
with that.
That's
You
not
know?
a good move.
He put a torpedo.
Yeah, he went
the
Don
Tommy Amaker.
Corleone, man. He went Don
Damn.
Corleone out that thing, man.
Yeah, that's not a good move.
Called that man
You
on
know-
the Zoom and told that man he can't have a job because it's going to affect John Shire. That's what he told him.
Wait a minute. He did it by Zoom.
He did it by Zoom. I wrote an article in the Saturday. Go read it. It tells you everything that went down. He did it in a Zoom. He told the guy that saved his program that you can't have the job because I got this white guy sitting here that's gonna get this job. That is wrong.
He said by
Wrong
Zoom.
on every
Ooh.
level, bro.
He
It's
hit him
wrong.
with the Zoom joint.
Damn.
Don
Okay.
Corleone, that man.
Nah, that's at least. Hey, look.
The reason why
at
it
least-
went down is because the new AD is a woman and she's new. So she wanted Amaker, but see, 42 years versus her 18 months, they ruled with him because that's why he went away now, because if he waited any longer, she's going to put Amaker in that position. He ain't going to have no say-so. So let me go now so I can make sure my guy get the job.
Amaker, in my opinion, was the right choice.
No doubt about it. I said Amaker, or I even said Nate James back from Austin Peay. Those are the two guys I said to bring.
Let's do this as a group. Nate James is a local guy. Let's keep an eye on him because I think Nate James has a great shot to be a very good coach.
Maybe Georgetown coach.
Maybe not yet.
Georgetown coach.
Maybe Georgetown coach. Yeah, next year.
Now Nickelberry gonna save Patrick Ewing. He getting guys. He got Brandon Murray come back.
Hey,
The Poly
listen.
guy. He got some other guys coming. He's gonna save Patrick Ewing. Ewing's gonna get saved by him. Great
If
guy.
he does that, he won't be at Georgetown much for long. Someone will scoop him up. That will get him a head coaching job.
True.
So
Hey,
back to the NBA real quick. Interesting situation that happened in the Memphis game that might only interest me. The Memphis Timberwolves series. 2 young bucks coming up. You got John Morant in Memphis, Anthony Edwards, who Devin loves in
My
Minnesota.
favorite young player in the NBA. Superstar.
Very
Superstar coming.
very
Y'all can
charismatic
have
young guy.
LaMelo Ball. Y'all can have LaMelo Ball. Give me him. You can have LaMelo Ball. Give me
Who?
him.
Honestly, I
John
like
Morant.
the way both those kids play.
I like Anthony
like the
Edwards,
way they
but
both
I like John Morant a lot.
I like that Poole dude from Golden State.
Oh yeah, he can go too.
Oh no, he can go.
He can
No,
go.
he
Maxey
ain't
can
nothing
go
but
too for the
Anthony
Sixers. Maxey
Edwards.
can go
Anthony
too.
Edwards is a dog.
He is
no,
a
he's a
dog.
monster. He's a
He's
monster.
a dog.
I've been
He's
watching
got-
kids since
he's
he was
got
12
the-
years old.
Yeah, he's got that level of tenacity that you need in the league today.
Now, the Memphis crowd, the Memphis home crowd, took a page.
Right now, tonight's game is 10-0 right now.
They took
Minnesota
a
up 10-0.
page. Their home crowd the other night took a page out of one of my favorite movies, Hustle and Flow. Their home crowd was saying, "Whoop that trick." The whole crowd, bro.
That's
Loud.
funny.
Wow.
Whoop that trick. Whoop that
Whoop
trick.
that trick. What?
Yo,
That's all right.
That's
Maybe
funny.
y'all whoop that trick.
Minnesota Timberwolves, the team was given a hard time by people like Charles Barkley for celebrating winning
had
their
a,
play-in. But you know what? Those
they had a
guys
high
did
school.
what their fans asked for. Win a big game and get us to the playoffs. They did their job. Okay, they deserve the right to celebrate a little bit. But I'm excited to see what the Minnesota Timberwolves fans are going to have for their team coming back, to the friendly confines, because these middle market teams that don't get a lot of run, a lot of love, the Memphises of the world, the Timberwolves of the world, Minnesota, I'd like to see them get some shine on the national stage. And I think this playoff series is going to be one of them. It's going to show, hey, there's more teams in the NBA than just what's going on in Golden State, or what's happening at one of the major powers.
There's more teams in California.
It's easy to root for the Lakers every year because generally they're going to be pretty good. When they're bad, it's easy to pile on them, but they're going to move the needle. So to see a team like the Timberwolves even make the playoffs and make it in grand style, I think that's good for the sport. What do you think, Jody?
Oh yeah.
Well, first and foremost, man, I mean, Minnesota it's been a long time coming. But what I need to see for them to go to the next level, we understand that Ant-Man is a complete animal. But Cat has to step up and be that next tier big man and quit settling for the three-point shot because you won the three-point contest. When Cat can get in that paint and get easy baskets in a half-court set, that's going to cause Memphis problems. But if he continues to linger out at the three-point line, they don't have a chance against Memphis. So if he get in the paint, he can get some easy buckets, get to the free throw line. Memphis could be in trouble, and Minnesota could pull that out in 6.
And now we move to –
I got to bounce out, fellas.
Okay. Thanks, Cody.
I think a bigger problem for Memphis, I think a bigger problem for Minnesota isn't Cat, it's D'Angelo Russell, because he doesn't create easy shots as a point guard for his teammates. He's one of them guys that is really a scoring guard that they make the point guard. Beverly is a better shot creator, and he isn't that good. That's their big problem right now. They don't have shot creators for others. And I like Russell. I don't think Cat's a problem. I think Cat is who he is. He's not going, a leopard don't change his spots. And this is who Cat is. He's going to take his jump shots, and he's going to go in the post at times. This is what he does. The problem with that is, again, it's Russell. But we sitting here acting like Memphis then arrived and won something. What the hell has Memphis ever done? They had a good year. That don't mean nothing unless they win this series. If they go out to a 7 seed in the first round, they lost game 1. They now they got to get a game in Minnesota. That's not going to be easy. So we don't know if Memphis is going to be able to respond like that. We sitting here. I'm not putting them in here. I think Minnesota going to win this series. This is a bad matchup for Memphis. They have athletes. Towns is better than Jaren Jackson Jr. May be the best player on both teams right now, but Anthony Edwards is going to make a push real soon. And another thing with Memphis is they talk a lot. They got a lot of mouth for a team that has never won anything. They do a lot of mouthing off, and a lot of celebrating, a lot of stuff that they shouldn't be doing. And that's to me, they're a nice young team. They're gonna be around. But all that celebrating and all that, I'm him and all that, man, just play some damn basketball and shut up.
But hold on, Dev. This is reminiscent of when LeBron James was in Cleveland, taking pictures on the sideline. They were acting like they were doing
James,
this.
No, we knew he was going to win something.
I get that.
LeBron
We
James
knew it,
totally
but
different.
He didn't win. He didn't win with that team. He was doing all that with. He left and he had to go to Miami.
But he got them to the conference finals. Where's Memphis been?
Memphis been to the conference finals.
Not with this team.
I'm just saying overall. But when you look at it
in 2011,
yeah, they still went. The point I'm trying to make is these young guys have a camaraderie that you want to see. They are a close-knit team. You can see that they play off of emotion. You can tell they play off of one another. I like Memphis. I like they got that little swagger about. That's what the NBA. Everybody don't need to be friends. I'm tired of watching everybody dapping everybody. I want to see somebody not be friends. And Memphis brings that toughness. And I don't care about the 29 other teams in the league. I care less about. I like that attitude. I'm tired of everybody teamed up on AAU and they played together when they was little. I want somebody to knock another team's head off. And that's what Memphis bringing.
They bring that to an extent, but they, like I said, I like what they're doing. I just want them just to win a series before you do all that. They haven't won a series yet with this team. Last year they won game 1 in Utah and couldn't win another game. And, that whole, we hoping, I heard a couple weeks ago where they were saying, hope to see Golden State in the second round. That's disrespectful to whoever you play in the first round. Why are you talking about that?
Yeah, you need to worry about this one. And
plus, but why would you want to play Golden State? You should hope somebody knock them off. You don't want to play a team that's battle tested like that.
But he put up that Ja Morant put up that meme on IG with Michael Jordan when they won that first game, and Michael Jordan said that doesn't matter, and he put that up, and I'm like, dude, that ain't right. That's Michael Jordan saying that.
And you playing against a Minnesota team that really, man for man, is a more talented team.
Can I say something?
Yes,
So
sir.
here's what we're seeing. Guys aren't used to this yet, and they got to understand that playoff basketball is a different breed. It's a different breed. You can't. You got to forget what happened in the regular season. You have to take that. It's a slower. I should say, a slower half court. It's a more.
And you can be more physical. The refs allow more physicality.
You can be more physical, and you got to take a different attitude when it comes to the playoffs. I like the stuff that Memphis is doing with the youthfulness and all that stuff. I love that. But it comes to a time where you got to tighten that up.
Shut your mouth and play ball.
And you got to lock it up. And it's a different – you just look at Golden State and how they approach stuff. Mm-hmm. Those guys, to me, are kind of like a throwback because they approach this playoffs a whole different – it's a whole different animal with them.
The only dude on their team that talks is Draymond Green. Nobody else on that roster talks. He has to talk because that's how he plays. He's the most. He's the vocal leader. I talked to somebody earlier and they was asking. I said he's the most valuable under 10-point scoring player I may have ever seen outside of Dennis Rodman. He does many things that literally the other night he had 6 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 blocks, and he picked up 3 charges. But the effect of the mental effect he had on Jokic was so great. Jokic couldn't finish around the rim, got thrown out of game 1, was frustrated in game 2. And then you got people like Austin Rivers putting up tweets saying, we got to figure out a way to get Draymond out of here. You focus on the dude that can't even score 10 points. He in your head. He's in your head. He didn't do what he set out to do. Denver is cooked goose. Stick a fork in them.
Well, Denver, I knew they was not going to beat Golden State when you see Jamal Murray in street clothes and you see Michael Porter Jr. in street clothes.
And with Murray and Porter Jr. either.
I wouldn't just hand it to him if those guys, because we've seen what Jamal Murray does in the playoffs. We've seen him go off.
We've seen him in the bubble when there was no fans. We haven't seen Jamal Murray with 20,000 people screaming against him in the playoff series. We haven't seen that.
We don't know.
Have we?
But we don't know. He ain't played yet. He's been hurt ever since.
So Tyler Hero do last over in the bubble. Did he have the same year last year? No, he struggled when there was people back in the arena.
But he
came back this year.
He had an amazing year.
He had a good year this year, but the year after the bubble was Tyler Hero a complete no-show? Yes.
I mean, but I don't even know.
Me in front of 20,000 people, I don't believe it.
I don't know
what do you guys see on the East side?
I'm glad you mentioned that. I want to go back with something that Dave said about the significant injury to Chris Middleton.
That's huge.
That's
huge.
That could be a huge problem. We talking about a guy that can put up 20, 21 points per game. He's a solid defender on the perimeter, and he takes a lot of pressure off of Giannis. So now you're going against a Chicago Bulls team that looked like they figured it out in game 2, still in the game in Milwaukee, and it looked like DeMar DeRozan figured out, like he didn't even take a lot of threes. He did a lot of mid-range shots. He scored 41 points and only went to the free throw line 9 times. So
and that's who Chris Middleton will be covering too, and that's Chris Middleton's cover. That's why I said Giannis was guarding him in that fourth quarter, and what he did to Giannis is he got the crab dribble, got himself a little space, and let the jumper go. And Giannis didn't know if he was going to try to go by him or whatever, and that's usually Middleton's cover, the best perimeter player on the other team. Even though Drew Holiday can do that, Holiday is going to wear down because he's guarding Levine. Then you want him to step. It's too much. And like I said, the biggest thing, like you just said, that's a big thing, but a bigger thing is got to figure out how he's going to use Giannis when Caruso guards him, because Caruso's waiting for him to drive and take charges to get him out of his game. And now Giannis looked a little hesitant because he picked up 2 charges last night in the second half trying to go through Caruso. Caruso's heady. He's a bigger 6'5" guard, 6'6". He's physical. He does all the little things that they didn't have nobody doing. Him and Patrick Williams are back, and the Bulls are a different team. They almost won game 1 in Milwaukee. They lost by 7. They haven't been outplayed yet.
So the series don't start.
You get Vucevic, you getting the Orlando Vucevic back. He looking like the dude that was averaging 20 and 10 down there. So the Bucks have a fight on their hand, man. This is not going to be easy for them.
I always say, and Magic and them had a saying, The series does not become a series
Road
until the
team win the
first
game.
road team win the game.
Yep. And
So
now
when
we
the
got
road
a
team win the
series.
game, then you got a series. So
Yeah.
we're looking at this series right now, Memphis and Minnesota. It's a series. It's 1-1. When the road team wins a game in those first two, that's when the series start, and we have a real series.
So hold on,
So-
Tony. So the series
See?
hasn't started in Brooklyn, huh?
Shit.
Look,
Not yet.
Can I get a smoke to KD real quick? Can I get him? Because we always, if this was LeBron James performing the way that KD has performed, it would be the headline story. And I'm not even a LeBron James fan. You go 4 for 17 against a Boston team that you were supposed to beat, which is amazing that Brooklyn were favored to come out the East, but not favored against the Boston Celtics. That's weird to me. I don't know how you get out to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Styles make fights.
KD has a problem, and I said this before. He has a problem because the Boston Celtics have the best perimeter defense in basketball with Marcus Smart. Jaylen Brown is a very underrated, but one of the better defenders in the league. Jason Tatum's length, and let's not forget about Derek White. So we keep saying KD can get any shot he wants, not against Boston.
You forgot about Grant Williams throwing his big body in there and beating him up. Physicality. And then you still got people like Dice behind that and stuff. You got length everywhere. And what Ime did is he decided, you know what? Scratch all the schemes. We just going to switch everything because we got length. And what he's doing is he's saying, okay, the biggest problem with Brooklyn is this is where Ben Simmons had to play. He had to play because you need him to at least take one of them guys out of the series somewhat. If both of them are going, as much as I love KD and Kyrie, that may not be enough because
they can't guard him.
Kyrie is dealing with Marcus Smart is going to wear you down because Smart's going to put his body on you. He's going to be physical. He's going to do things that you really don't want. It's just going, and then you bringing in a little guy like Pritchard, who may not be able to stop you, but see, Pritchard can score, so he makes you work a little bit more on the other end. It's tough, and like I said, and then Steve Nash don't know what the hell he's doing. You got two veterans over there, and Blake Griffin and Aldridge, and you're playing Claxton, who can't score, can't make a free throw. Why don't you bring one of them off the bench, play a little pick and pop, and give KD a little high low to give him some space? Help your best player out.
But Dev, I'm getting so tired of KD getting these passes, bro.
He don't get a pass from me. I love him, but he's been awful. He's been awful.
Listen, if you take away those 3 seasons that he was in Golden State, what has he done? And he's had probably the best teammates in NBA history. Let's go ahead and put that out there. If you look at from top to bottom, this man done played with James Harden, Russell Westbrook, Serge Ibaka, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, James Harden again, Kyrie Irving,
the big guy Adams,
Drummond. You done had all these guys, and you had to go. And I'm gonna go ahead and take it to another step. If you lost, I'm gonna go back to this. He was up 3-1 to the Golden State Warriors. You lose 4-3, and you go join that team you couldn't beat. Now you come to Brooklyn. You pick Steve Nash. Pick Steve Nash.
But do you remember what him? But do you remember what him and Kyrie said? Steve Nash got hired.
Yeah, it was basically like
you don't need a head coach. That go to show me that these dudes don't think they need nobody telling them how to play ball.
And that's ridiculous. There,
how do you have 2 guys like Aldridge and Blake Griffin with all the playoff experience they got sitting over there, and you need offense? You're not gonna beat these guys on trying to stop them. You got to outscore them.
Actually,
your only hope is to get more buckets than them. So you lose game 1 on a layup because at the end of the game, Durant and Kyrie want to play hero ball because you don't run a real set. You lose game 2 because flat out you can't stop nobody when the game gets close. So at the end of the day, you can't stop them. Where I'm from, if I can't stop you, I got to use what I got on offense to try to outscore you. So why you got 2 20 career point scorers, 2 20-point career scorers over there sitting on the bench? They may not be able to defend, but hell, they can't be any worse than what you putting out there now. At least they can score.
You got to maximize your minutes.
5 when they on the court.
You got to play. You got to maximize those minutes. If you get
play them guys, man.
You get 14 minutes out of Aldridge, 10 minutes out of Blake.
You 20 points combined. That's a great night.
Exactly. But KD, I want to go back to KD. Tony, can I go back to KD for a minute? Because he needs to get this work because KD been getting a pass his whole freaking career. You're going to, first of all, it's disrespectful to compare him to LeBron James. It is disrespectful to compare that man to LeBron. And I'm not a LeBron fan. Just understand that. But KD been getting passes since he got in the league. He been getting pacified since he's been in the league. He responds to the media. He's too freaking sensitive. You go 0 for 10. You went 0 for 10 in that second half against the Boston Celtics. 0 for 10. You can't get the shot that you used to get. You fill it up against Sacramento. You fill it up against Orlando Magic.
Can't hear you.
Oh, I got a call.
Okay.
I had a call coming. I'm sorry. KD needs to sit back and he needs to refine his tools, and you need to get in the paint. You can't keep relying on that jump shot that you can't get that shot off against those perimeter defenders. So KD, you're gonna get all the smoke and you better respond, because if you lose this game, I'm gonna give you even more smoke.
Well,
go ahead, Tony. I'm sorry, go ahead.
what we have to realize is that when they made this trade, I said that the trade is only big if Kardashian's boyfriend was playing. I don't even whatever.
Ben Simmons.
Ben Simmons.
He
If
key,
Ben
man.
Simmons
He key.
is playing, because he's the key. Anytime you got a guy that can guard 1 through 5, and on the defense, they need that guy. Obviously, in a series like this with the Celtics, they need him to perform. He needs to come back. Now, I'm going to see if they push him in game 3 or game 4. He could change the series around, because they're about one play.
He's gonna play.
away
He's gonna
from-
play on Monday. He's gonna play game 4. He'll come back game
So
4.
if he play game 4, if they down 2-1, and he comes and play game 4 and they win and it goes 2-2, my advantage goes to
to the net.
it goes to the net.
Yeah, because
It
they have
shifts
the
back
two
to the
best.
net.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But something is telling me I don't like this team, but this team may win the championship. Is the Celtics. I don't like them. I'm a Laker fan and I hate them. But it's something about them, the way they're constructed, the way they play, how hard they play. Those guys can play the game of basketball. They play it like the old Celtics. I mean, you just look at them. I mean, just look at their team. Those guys play
The
well
roster is
together.
really no different. It's an indictment on Brad Stevens in all them years that Ime Udoka can get the two best players to actually defend, as long as he said, you can shoot. I don't care if you shoot, but you better defend or you will sit. See, Stevens never gave them that ultimatum. He just kind of let them go out there and do what they do and make excuses for him. Now he's upstairs. Now you got a dude, Ime Udoka, who understands KD because he was in Brooklyn, so he knows what KD can and can't. He knows KD's strengths, his weaknesses.
Mhm.
He understands Patty Mills' strengths and weaknesses. He understands a lot. He understands Kyrie Irving's strengths and weaknesses. So the things that he can do defensively through a schematic situation is different than what most coaches would get. But he's also not making it difficult. We're going to switch everything and live with the results. And now those results are KD is 50 points in 2 games on 13 for 41 shooting, 8 assists, 8 rebounds total, and 13 turnovers. Those 13 turnovers have led to 19 Celtic points. What have they lost by? 7 and 1?
Yeah, can we talk about something, though? We can talk about who I didn't think was a great player, but he's a great player. He's the MVP, is Embiid. Embiid is coming through for the Sixers. I didn't think the Sixers would do this work. They are putting in work right now. What do you say, Jody?
I'm going to go ahead. I mean, Embiid has been impressive since he's been healthy enough.
I don't mean to cut y'all off. Let me say this one time. Memphis ran their mouth. They're down 30 in the second quarter tonight. 51-21. 51-21. I'm not kidding. What did Tony? Didn't I say Minnesota going to win that series?
Sure did.
I think they win in 6 anyway. My thing is with Embiid, it wasn't Embiid that was a problem for Philadelphia. It ain't even James Harden. It was the depth across the board. But let's not go ahead and crown Embiid as a playoff god when he's playing against Toronto. I don't think Toronto was a great team to start with. I think they're a well-coached team. I think they got a lot of pieces, but I don't.
So who they play next, Jody? If they win this series,
they win this series, they go against the winner of the Milwaukee and Chicago, which is up in the air now without Chris Middleton. So if they win against Milwaukee with a healthy Chris Middleton, I don't think Embiid would be able to do anything with Giannis, but it remains to be seen.
4-5. Whoever win that Toronto series plays the Miami Heat.
4-5.
That's Miami 4-5. And Philly next round.
I thought there was three. I thought
the
there was
2-3 is
3-6.
Milwaukee is Boston. That'll be Milwaukee, Boston, Chicago, and
Oh, okay. So Boston
yeah.
plays.
The
Boston
winner
plays
of the
Chicago or
Milwaukee,
Milwaukee.
Boston, the winner of Milwaukee and Chicago play the winner of the Nets and Celtics, and the winner of Philly,
2-7.
Toronto, which is going to be Philly. Philly going to play the Miami Heat. Just put it like that. That's what's going to be. It's going to be 1-4, and it's probably going to be.
Wait,
It's going to be. I'm still not counting the Nets out because I still think they're going home. So we got to see if they win both home games, the best of 3. But if they lose one of them games, it's over.
I'm counting them out.
You count them out. But listen, we got to give credit to this new generation. They have found a way to get a great playoff because anytime we talk about the 1 seed and the 8 seed, these are games. The 2 and 7 are games. Back in the day, those weren't no games for the Lakers and the Celtics.
And they were 3 out of 5, weren't they?
Yeah, 3 games. Yeah.
You win 2 at home, you go still 1 somewhere, and the series over. Yeah.
They changed them every year. They used to have mini series. Then they had the 5-game series. Then they went all 7-game series. So it depended on how the NBA felt. But what I'm giving you right now is the NBA right now. I have to say I was wrong. These guys are the product in the playoffs. Now, it's a tough watch in the regular season. It's a tough watch. But this playoff is pretty damn good, dude.
This is my problem, Tony.
It's still tough at moments, though. It's still tough at moments. These dudes, man, man.
This is my problem. This is my problem, Dave. This is my problem, Tony. When it comes to the playoffs, I think it's too many regular season games. So look at the people that are in street clothes. We got Devin Booker, who just came off an injury, and he's still on. And we don't know if he's going to play. We got Chris Middleton. You got guys like what's another guy that was hurt that I'm just. You got Robert Williams, who was a big part of the Boston Celtics success. He's out. It's just too many players are on the sideline due to injuries. And I think it's too many regular season games, man. I really believe that we got to find a way.
I mean, they played 82 games back in the day. What's the problem?
I just think they're not built like that. Like they're it's so much load management going on. I'm not a fan of load management because it was only 5 guys this season that played all 82 games, and they were all role players.
You know what the problem is, Jody? They got too much other stuff going on. So when they got too much other stuff going on, Jody, that too much other stuff leads to messing up the real stuff.
Right.
That's how I look at it. They just got too much going on. Get back to playing basketball. Play your damn 82 games and stop all this shit with this load management and people paying all these money for these tickets to go to game and you ain't playing. No.
Okay.
See, I'm old school with that. Play the damn game.
Leave it in.
It's basketball.
You know what, Tony? I'm big on that load. That load management is something that kind of San Antonio presented. And when I was a kid and I played collegiate basketball at Northern Kentucky University, I wanted to play basketball from sun up to sundown as a kid. That's all. I would go out at 10 o'clock in the morning. I wouldn't come back in till the lights came on. You know about the lights coming on. And I would play basketball all day. I don't even remember getting a drink of water like when I was a kid. So now it's like these guys got so many limitations on it. I got a hamstring. I got a hamstring. Oh, my elbow hurt. My finger hurt. Man, listen, man. Get out there and play basketball. You got You got Luka Doncic, who's not even played yet. You got Luka Doncic that won't even.
He got hurt in a meaningless last regular season game. They were trying to get the third seed, and the Warriors had won. He out there playing. He hurts his hamstring. Now he may not be there the whole series, and they're gonna lose that series without him. They can't win that series without him. They can't. They had a big win the other night at home. Desperation does help sometimes. You can't go down 0-2. You play desperate. That's what Memphis did the other night. They played desperate. They played like a team that knew they couldn't lose. But like I said, that's totally different at home than when it is or you're on the road. It's 20,000 people cheering against you, chanting at you. It's different.
It's completely different, man. But these
totally
injuries,
different, man.
Look at the past few seasons in the NBA. If you even go back to the bubble, it's just too many injuries, man. And we got guys. I got an all-pro team I can make, an all-NBA team of guys that hadn't even played, man. Mm-hmm. You got Kawhi Leonard, you got Dame Lillard, you had Paul George had significant missed time, LeBron James significant missed time, Anthony Davis significant.
Yep.
You got
Steph Curry.
Chris Paul,
Steph Curry, Klay Thompson. Yes, man. Yep.
Wiseman ain't even played this year.
Nope.
You know, we got significant Ben Simmons. You got Jamal Murray. You got Michael Porter Jr. You got an all-pro team that ain't even set foot on the court, man.
True.
And that's hurting the game, man. That's hurting the game. I don't know who they trainers are, but they need to go find out who Michael Jordan trainers were. You need to go back in the day and find out who these guys trainers are, because they can't. Their bodies are not holding up. And
Mr. Grover himself, the one that Dwayne Wade used. That's why Dwayne Wade stayed healthy so often. Grover trained him too. That's why he was very rarely hurt. Even when he was hurt, he still played.
Yeah.
So guys, look, I want to kind of switch up a little bit. I want to get us to last 20 minutes. Let's bring us up to date in the NFL and what's going on. Kind of set the stage, because we're 1 week out. We're
Right.
1 week out from us being in three different cities, and us, calling the draft and getting to the real stuff that everybody really cares about right now.
Right.
Is that draft. Let me set the table for everyone. For anybody who's looking at us, understand, the NFL has gotten so big that the NFL draft has higher ratings than the NBA Finals, unless it's the Lakers with LeBron James.
Mm-hmm.
That's how big the NFL draft is.
Yep.
And that to me, if you'd have told somebody 20 years ago that the NFL draft would be higher than the NBA Finals, they would laugh at you, dude.
Right.
That's where we are. Bring us up to date. Joe, to you first, and then Deb, bring us up to date.
Okay, real quick around the league, you got wide receivers that are looking to be traded. You got A.J. Brown from Tennessee. You got Deebo Samuels, who'd probably be the most likely one to get traded. DK Metcalf is looking for a new extension, so he may be traded. It's going to be a lot of surprise trades when it comes up to the draft. One of the key people, two teams that we need to pay attention to between now and Thursday, it's the New York Giants and the New York Jets, who got two top 10 picks. The Jets are probably more likely to land Deebo Samuel, so that's going to change the significant amount of what the draft is going to be, because I figure one of those picks, they're going to take a receiver. If you get Deebo, you don't need to do that. The Giants have been kind of quiet, but I can see the Giants making a move quietly to try to trade one of those top 7 picks. Not to mention, they got 2 top 7 picks. So right now, the NFL – it's going to be a lot of moving and shaking at the top of this draft because of those 2 teams. So setting the stage is right now, receivers have become a commodity because of Christian Kirk signing that huge 4-year, $72 million deal and haven't even had a 1,000-yard season yet. So all these other guys, like, they've been a domino effect from Devontae Adams to Tyreek Hill, guys like that signing huge deals with
Stephon Diggs, yeah.
Stephon Diggs. So, the market, and now you got Denzel Ward signing a huge deal. So the market's about to be set for cornerbacks. Bless you. So don't be surprised to see a lot of cornerbacks looking to do the same thing wide receivers are doing. So right now the NFL is about to be shooken up in the next 3 to 4 days before we head out to Vegas, and it's going to be with the receivers and cornerbacks. Watch those moves at those 2 positions.
All right, Deb.
I've been covering the HBCU side of things. I'm big on that because I think it's a lot of guys that didn't get the chance to show up at the combine. Only 4 players out of 324 came from HBCU. So I've been focusing on, guys that come from the smaller schools, like the pass rusher from Jackson State, James Houston, 6'1", 245, built like Micah Parsons, 16.5 sacks, 35 tackles for loss. I mean, come on, man. I don't care what level you're playing at. You can play if you're doing that. I don't care where you're playing. Safety from Florida A&M, Marquise Bell, built a lot like Eric Berry, more of a maybe even a heavier hitter than Berry, and that's hard for me to say because Berry was a thumper. But those kind of guys. Akil Glass, the quarterback from Alabama A&M, Black College Football Player of the Year, back-to-back years, SWAC Player of the Year. Threw 114 touchdowns in 3 years. That's 38 a year. I don't know what these teams see from these other guys that is so much better. He's 6'5". He can run the RPO stuff. He can do the straight from the pocket. He can do everything. He's got everything you need. That he just needs somebody to give him a chance. You got Ja'Tyre Carter, probably the best offensive lineman, who is a swing tackle, swing guard. He can play every position on the offensive line except for center. So when you got a guy that can play right or left guard, right or left tackle, that guy can help anybody because now he makes it so you can put players in other places because he can give you help anywhere. He makes your team, he helps your numbers just because he can give you those multiple positions. That's what's tough you got to look at when you're putting a team together. So I'm working on a piece now about how coaches prepare for the draft and what it is they go through to get to that point. And I'm going to take 5 teams that are contenders and 5 teams that aren't contenders and talk about how each team will migrate through this process, from the end of the season to the pro days to the combine to in-person meetings once the combine was over, and how the coaches try to get the owner and the GM on the same page as them when they want a guy, how they got to make that happen. And I'm also going to tell you how it really works. When you look at some of these franchises, like the Detroit Lions, you look at what they got. Dan Campbell's only there to lose to get draft capital so the next young hot offensive coordinator can come in there and put that team back together. You look around the league, there's a lot of guys in that situation. Their teams aren't going to be any good for the next couple of years, so we're going to get all the draft capital we can. And then we're going to find that hot young offensive guy, that hot young defensive guy, and put him in place. So that's the stuff I look at. That stuff is important. So, like I said, it's going to be interesting. I guess the biggest situation is in Jacksonville. It's a lot of buzz about Trayvon Walker being the number 1 overall pick from Georgia. This is a guy that didn't have a lot of numbers, but that's because the defense was so dominant that they didn't need him to. But he's off the charts in his performance at the pro day, at the combine, and he showed flashes against.
Is he a linebacker or a D line?
No, he plays DN.
Edge rusher.
He plays DN. He's tough. He's tough. He's a beast. But there's so little on him because of the way Georgia defense was set. Nakobe Dean and Jordan Davis and all them guys got all the hype. But there's a real chance that the Jaguars take him over Aiden Hutchinson and Thibodeau. I don't think they take Thibodeau. I think Thibodeau has kind of slipped down on a lot of these boards because a lot of people don't think he loved football. So I think when he made the comment about football is what it is, he got this Nike thing because he went to Oregon for the rest of his life. Can't say stuff like that because then they think you don't care. So it makes them question, do you really want to do this or not? So while he was on the MegaCast throwing Alabama under the bus saying, why would I go there when I can go to Oregon? Those words came back to bite him because it was like, well, you went to Oregon because you were looking at a long-term after football thing. You didn't choose Bama because you said you didn't want to deal with the way Nick Saban did things. So do you really love football or not? So you got to remember that.
But Deb, can I jump in about that situation? I'm not knocking Kevon for making that decision because I've heard a lot of Alabama guys say that playing for Alabama was the hardest thing they ever did in their life. They said it's very tough. So I think a lot of our young guys don't prepare themselves after football, and I think all he was doing was setting the stage for after football. I'm not saying that he didn't love the game because Oregon is a great program. It's not like Oregon is a bottom of the barrel program.
Can I interject in here? Let me give you something. Nick Saban made a statement. Over the last 15 years, his players have earned $1 billion in the NFL.
1.7 billion. Yes.
1.7 billion. Now, I'm not an Alabama fan. I'm a Virginia Tech fan. Alabama, Ohio State. Here's what they're doing and what any coach needs to do. Because, see, it's about to start evening out. Not saying that they're going to beat Ohio State or Alabama, but these guys other programs are going to start getting better recruits. Where you will win the recruits over if you can learn to develop ball players. Because football is a game, unlike basketball, it's a game of development. It's a game of how well do you develop each year. From the first time that you're a freshman and you're a swing lineman, to the next year you're a starter, to the next year you're a captain. How do you develop as a football player? Because remember, before the pandemic started, they put up the most important stat I've ever seen in my life on the Super Bowl. It was Kansas City versus San Fran. They put up a stat of the 44 starters. 40 of the 44 starters were 3-star to no star. There was only 4 players who were 4 and 5-star starting in the biggest game in the world. That's telling you something. What we need to do, Alabama, you're an Alabama fan, you're a Ohio State fan. I'm a Virginia Tech fan. Listen, we do it all different kinds of ways. The typical Virginia Tech was 2 and 3 star,
Right.
and let's develop them.
Mhm.
Ohio State and Alabama, they say, because you got 4 and 5 stars, but you still develop 4 and 5 stars to even be even better. And that's what people are not getting from this stuff. It's how well, see, what I'm getting now is when Clemson doesn't get the 4 and 5 stars, can they develop their players? Because I don't want to hear that stuff with Dabo now when they recruiting fall off a little bit and then all of a sudden they talking about they can't win. Oh, if you were developing players, you could win because Alabama didn't have all the great players last year and they were up there.
But you know what, Tony? The true winner this coming up week is going to be Kirby Smart in that Georgia program, because they're about to let, they're going to compare with Ohio State and Alabama when we got all those first round draft picks. You could see anywhere from Jordan Davis, Trayvon Walker, to maybe what's my guy, Devon Wyatt, Jacoby Dean. Looking at some notes, I mean, it's some guys.
So that's 4 or 5 players.
That's 4. They might even get Lewis Kill.
No, Sing.
I can see. Yeah, Sing. So I can see these guys coming off the board in the first round. So let's give some kudos. And that's only on the defensive side of the ball. So let's give some, and let's not forget that Jermaine Johnson was a Georgia Bulldog. That's that Florida State.
Yeah.
So Georgia needs to start getting, Kirby Smart needs to start getting a lot of kudos for how he's developing players as well.
Okay, but Jody, what about the Sauce Gardners of the world, the people, the Cincinnati players that's coming off? What about some of the UCF or the Memphis players of the world? What I want to see is how well the I call them mid-majors, they FBS schools, but the mid guys, I want to see how well they do in this year's draft. Also, too, this year, I will tell you that this is not a quarterback year. The first person in this draft who reached for a first-round quarterback, they are going to lose their job because none of these cats are ready to start in the NFL right now. Not one quarterback. Not one of those quarterbacks is ready to start in the NFL right now. You can argue all you want. Ain't none of them better than the 32 quarterbacks I start. AFC, right now, show me a quarterback right now that can beat any of the AFC quarterbacks. I'll wait.
It ain't AFC, maybe the NFC, because I think that
whoa. Who they gonna beat in the NFC?
They can beat out Sam Darnold in Carolina.
Whoa. Sam Darnold is still better than Pritchard. I mean, not Prickett and Pritchard and all them dudes, Pickett and my boy who I love in Cincinnati. Sam Darnold's still better than him. Sam Darnold is better than all those dudes.
I'm gonna go ahead and say this. Sam Darnold has had an opportunity with the Jets and with Carolina, and I think the Jets didn't build around him, correctly. But I think Carolina had a lot of weapons. I think Malik Willis is an upgrade in Carolina if he goes there with the 6th pick. He's an upgrade. I think, and you don't have to start him right away because they went ahead and extended that 5th-year option for Sam Darnold. But Sam Darnold has proved that he can't play in the NFL. Kenny Pickett can go to Seattle with the 9th pick. Drew Luck has proved that he can't play in the NFL. So those are two places that I believe.
But they can't beat them right now.
They may not have to. They may not have to beat them right now because both of those teams are in year 2, year 3 away. So I can see Malik Willis coming out. If they're not successful with Sam Darnold, he'll beat him out in week 8 or 9.
I'm not taking these dudes in the first round.
Why not?
I'm telling you right now, none of these dudes. You know what? Because I am. Listen, I may be a Cowboy fan, but I'm not stupid. I don't do business the way they do. I do business the way Pittsburgh does it. Pittsburgh, before Haskins passed away, God rest his soul, Pittsburgh had 2 first-round quarterbacks for the price of nothing. They were going to have a starter and a backup that was first round. Who does that?
Who was the backup? Who was going to be? You talking about
Haskins
Trubisky?
the backup and Trubisky the
Haskins
starter.
or the backup, or Haskins the starter, Trubisky the backup. They had it made.
What about
That's
Rudolph?
how you build your team. Rudolph gone. Rudolph wasn't even down there working out with them. Rudolph would have been gone.
I just
He
want
would
you to
have been
laugh.
done.
I just want you to
That
laugh.
dude would have been gone. They already know what he can do. He
Right.
would have been gone. Now, here's what happens. Pittsburgh, at that 20 spot, will draft a quarterback. But listen to this. I will say it first. If all those quarterbacks are available and they don't draft Pickett, there is a problem with Pickett because they've seen him every day for 4 years. And if they don't draft him, then something is wrong with Pickett.
If Baker Mayfield is not traded to Seattle or to Carolina between now and next week, I can see, like I said, Malik Willis going 6 to Carolina, and I can see Kenny Pickett going 9 to Seattle. And then if you do have, I think right now that Pittsburgh has a year or two away that they can go ahead with that 20 pick and pick something that's going to help them offensive line or on the defensive
Offensive
side.
line.
They also may be able to go after. I like them if Troy McDuffie at cornerback is available from Washington. I can see them going after him because they're long in the tooth. Like Joe Hayden is, he long in the tooth. You need to start getting some other help on that in that secondary. Why not take that pick with the 20th pick? If a quarterback is available, it'll probably be like Matt Corral. But I think Matt Corral will get drafted potentially to New Orleans to play behind Jameis Winston. That he knows that.
What is
he's
New
still
Orleans
injured.
just stacking quarterbacks? They got the dude from Notre Dame. They got Taysom Hill. They got Jameis.
First of all, Taysom Hill does not play quarterback. He's a tight end playing quarterback.
Well, whatever they got him at quarterback.
Taysom Hill is not.
What I'm telling you guys is that if the first team who reach for a quarterback is going to be in trouble, the first team who reach is going to be in trouble. Now, Carolina may need Willis or Atlanta may need him. But what I am telling you right now, if I am that guy Ritter, I don't want to go first round. I want to go second round to the Rams and sit behind somebody like Stafford for a couple years.
I can see
because that is perfect. He is perfect for their system. He's perfect for what they do.
But
he can sit behind.
He'd be perfect if he went in the second or third round to the Bengals and give some assurance policy to Joe Burrow.
Yeah, but
he's a hometown guy.
But they're not gonna put him in because he is ready to play in 23. And he ain't playing in Cincinnati in 23 unless he go back and get some eligibility with the Bearcats. That's the only part of Cincinnati he's gonna play in.
Burrow's played one full season this season, and he got beat up. And I know they went and got some offensive line help. I get it. But you in the NFL, you need to have insurance policies for championship teams, and that's what championship teams do. They go get insurance policies at all positions. Because you can't go and say, "Oh, Joe Burrow's get hurt for the year, and now our season's over with." You can't do that. As a fan, I don't want Cleveland, Deshaun Jackson hurt. We got Jacoby Brissett that can come in and play football. And I think Cincinnati doesn't have that legitimate backup, and you can go get Ritter for a low price, a lower draft pick. He's a hometown guy. He looked like he's a hard worker. And he could potentially, after his 4 years are over, be a starter for somebody else sitting behind Joe Burrow. I just don't want to see Cincinnati going.
Can Baker Mayfield go to Washington? Would that make sense?
Nah, they ain't gonna take him here because they got Carson Wentz. They good. I think Baker Mayfield can end up with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I wrote articles on that. I really do.
Only way that he goes to Pittsburgh is if he's cut. Cleveland would be a doggone fool.
They're not getting a first round pick for him, and that's what they holding out for. So eventually, you can't have him on that roster with Deshaun Watson as the quarterback. That's never gonna work. You can't have him making $19 million and Watson making $46 million. You can't have that.
Not to mention we got Jacoby Brissett and we just picked up Josh Dobbs.
Yeah, so somebody's got to go, and that's I'm saying if believe me, if the Steelers get a hold of him, if he's cut, they're gonna pounce.
Oh yeah, I can see that. And
the guy is not a bum. He's just not a great quarterback. He's not a bum though. He's serviceable.
So why don't Seattle take him? What is Seattle doing?
Seattle won't give up what we're looking for at this point, but I think Cleveland will have to bite the bullet and go ahead and take a 5th or 6th round pick for Baker.
So who takes him at a 5th or 6th round pick? What team is in the ballpark to take a guy like that? Does he go to Carolina or Atlanta? Because Carolina and Atlanta is the only team to me that need quarterback.
I could see him going to Atlanta and competing with Marcus Mariota. They're not sold. If you only sign a quarterback for a 2-year deal, you're not sold on him. So I can see him going to Atlanta. But if Atlanta has to, with that 8th pick, they got to get Drake London. I got Drake London going 8th to them with Pitts on the other side. You have to do that. If you don't do that, Baker Mayfield is going to go in, and he's actually his stock is going to drop going and playing with a team that doesn't have any weapons. So I can see Baker potentially going to Atlanta, but I don't know if they pull the trigger on that. But I like him in Seattle. I like him in Seattle right now.
I've
I
never
only
seen.
have one quarterback going in the first round.
Who do you got?
I got Willis to the Saints at 19. I don't think the rest of the teams are sold on the guys that they're looking at. And I think the Falcons are going to take, even though he's got a torn ACL, they're in rebuild mode. They're going to take Jameson Williams. That's a home run hit. They don't need Drake London. He's nothing more than Kyle Pitts all over again, a possession receiver. They need some speed. Drake London doesn't bring that. He brings nothing but possession. He doesn't have the – Jameson Williams changes the whole defensive game plan with his speed.
But Drake London is reminiscent of a Julio Jones. You know what I mean?
Julio was a 4-3 guy, 4-4 guy. Drake London's a 4-6 at best.
So Drake
4-5,
London
4-6.
is so
He's
Drake
a big
London
physical
is,
specimen.
Drake London is basically a Alvin Harper, the Michael Irvin type.
Yeah.
But he's not as fast as Alvin Harper was.
Yeah, but he's a Michael Irvin
He's a
kind
big
of
physical
possession.
specimen. He's like 6'5",
Okay.
like 225, 30 pounds.
Woo.
Got great
So
hands.
He's more like a slow DK Metcalf.
Yeah, he's like really a tweener. You know what I'm saying? Because he doesn't outrun people. He just out physicals everybody. But the Falcons.
They had him running a 4.5, 4.56.
4.5. I say 4.5, 4.6. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Michael Irvin speed.
So I don't know why they would take him if they already got Pitts. You got to get somebody that has home run ability. You know what I mean? And Jameson Williams has that. That's the only guy I would take ahead of Drake London if I'm looking for that kind of stuff. Because Garrett Wilson and Olave, I like them, but they're a little undersized. You know, I think Wilson is a freak, but Wilson doesn't have what you call great breakaway speed. He's quick and he runs great routes.
He ran a 4.37 though.
Yeah, but he doesn't look that fast on game day. He doesn't. He looks like a guy that Garrett Wilson doesn't look that fast to me. I mean, he may be, but to me,
number 5 from Ohio State.
At the end of the day, none of them look like Jameson Williams. Put it like that.
And
Jameson Williams picks him up and puts him down. It's over.
But you do know that Jameson Williams was at Ohio State and he couldn't beat those guys out. That's why.
But he also didn't perform until he came to Alabama. You do know that.
Yeah, because he couldn't get on the field.
That's fine.
And you do know that Joe Burrow was at Ohio State and couldn't beat those guys out, went somewhere else too. And it happens.
At the end of the day, when you talk to, or when you hear the league and you hear people around the league saying Jameson Williams possesses the speed that throw fear into defensive coordinators because he can flat out run by you. He don't have to run. There isn't like everybody got speed. He has that gear that everybody else don't have. That
I can see Washington picking him up.
He runs slant routes, and dudes have angles on him like they do Tyreek, and they can't get there. This dude is unreal fast.
But how do we know how fast he's going to be off this injury?
He'll be fine.
Yeah, you know what? 20 years ago, Jody.
Yeah,
he'll be fine. But nowadays, man, these dudes, man, they coming
technology
back,
and everything they got. He'll be fine.
Hey, but you know what, Jody? What we need to talk about is everyone, and I even saw Edmonds dude at Virginia Tech. I asked them about Buffalo and how well they supposed to be. But something in my gut is telling me you got us looking at Buffalo, but the real team who's going to win it in the AFC, and I'm going to pick them at the draft, is the Cleveland Browns because they play playoff football, good defense, good running game, and they got a number 1 receiver who runs excellent routes in that bad weather. He will get in and out of them breaks, and he will be open every time. He changed the Cowboys from 18 to 21. If it wasn't for Amari Cooper, Dallas would have been a sub-500 team. Him up there with Watson in a running game, it's over. But they're not talking about y'all, and that's good. Stay in the cut because y'all play playoff football. See, I would be on Buffalo if Buffalo had a big-time running back. If I was Buffalo, I'd go off of Dallas, my number 1 pick, for Zeke right now. No. If Buffalo had Zeke, Buffalo would be unstoppable. That's all they need.
Listen, I like
they don't have no running back.
I like you putting Cleveland up there. I hate talking about my team because
no. We talking real because I'm only talking about them because I understand how you win in the NFL. You win by running the ball, stopping the run, and when you need that first down, do you have the number one receiver who can get in and out of
Right.
those breaks?
Now,
You have all that.
now, Dev, he probably one of those guys like me. He look at those guys you hit on the second, third, fourth round picks, and what Cleveland has done the past 3 to 4 seasons have hit in later round picks. We got Nick Chubb in the second round. We got what's my guy Jaco, the guy Jeremiah. I can't pronounce his name from Notre Dame. I hate
Jeremiah
pronouncing that.
Karoma Owosu. Yeah.
Yeah, I call him
Yeah.
Joko. So
Yep.
he's another guy we got in the second round. We got Dilpit in the second round. We got Greedy Williams in the second round. So we have a second round pick coming up. We got the 44th pick, and I'm looking to have Dean available from Georgia. Nakobe Dean.
Middle linebacker.
We can get Nakobe Dean with this 44th pick. That will be significant for Cleveland to move forward. I like Anthony Walker, but Anthony Walker is not the impact player that we need at that linebacker position. When you play Lamar Jackson, you play Joe Burrows, you got to find ways to get to that quarterback. And I think that Dean roaming around in the middle with that speed he has, and like you said, he went to Georgia. Georgia is turning into a factory for just NFL players right now. Actually, they've been a factory before Kirby Smart that people don't pay attention to. Champ Bailey, Hines Ward, guys like that. So they've always gotten guys that got to the NFL. Tim Worley, Terrell Davis, the list goes on.
How about
Garrison Hearst.
Richard Seymour?
Richard Seymour, I love him. Hey, Richard Seymour. So you more of an SEC guy than me because you're an Alabama fan, so you know more about that. But Cleveland, I hate to say it, but we're hitting big on we're hitting big on late round picks, and that's what you look at championship caliber teams. They hit on Kansas City late round picks. You go back in the day, New England late round picks. The Dallas Cowboys back in the day late round picks. When you got late round picks that come in, produce at a high level, at a Pro Bowl level, all pro level, that's when you can see your training and your scouting department getting the kudos. And that's what Cleveland's getting. That's what Cleveland's being very underrated. That's what the Bengals are doing. The Bengals are hitting on late round picks. Jesse Bates. Nobody was talking about Jesse Bates. Now he's one of the premier safeties in the league.
How about that middle linebacker? That middle linebacker that got called for the interference on the goal line.
Yeah.
Logan
That's
something. That dude a dog.
Logan
man.
Wilson.
He's a dog, man.
Yeah.
So as we get into this draft, see what people are getting. The talking heads are telling you. The talking heads are telling you the AFC West is the best. But as I look at these rosters, man, that AFC North, they're the only division over the last 2 years, every team has made the playoffs. So if every team has made the playoffs, then, dude, it's not going to be easy in that division. That means those guys can play.
Dev, and like I said, Dev, I read your articles. I love what you do, man, because we think alike. Let's talk about the Indianapolis Colts for a moment, can we? Mm-hmm. They just went and got Stephon Gilmore. Mm-hmm. 2-year deal. People forget just a few years ago, defense player of the year.
Yep. Gilly Lock. Yep.
And he goes to a defense that's all they got a safety. I think his name is Blackman. Nobody talks about that kid because he was injured. You look at the running game, you look at that offensive line, and then you bring in Matty Ice. Watch out for the Indianapolis Colts.
And they got the best. To me, they got the best middle linebacker in football, Darius Leonard.
And he's
South
from
Carolina State,
HBCU. So I know you covered that guy because he, my guy, Nashawn Goddard. He's a coach down there from Dayton. One of my friends. He told me about that guy before he got drafted. I'm like, who? I said,
tackling machine.
I said, who?
He remind you of Patrick Willis.
Yeah, I'm
everywhere, always around the football, just a freak of nature. The only is, and then they got DeForest Buckner, who I think could be Defensive Player of the Year if he could stay healthy the whole year.
Right.
He is a problem. And when the Niners decided to move on for him, I said, you moving on for him and you think Kinlaw going to do what he did? You're crazy.
Well, I think that they had to because of Nick Bosa. I think when
money. I know it's the money. I get it. And that's what they in now. And they're dealing with that. And they got him and Samuel right now unhappy. They both want their money. And you got to pay them because they're the main pieces on both sides of the football.
Didn't they pay Fred Warner?
Yeah, he got his money. He got his money.
So you had to pay. That's another guy, man. 49ers hit on late round picks like crazy too, man. So when you look at the playoff rosters across the board, I guarantee you they got a ton of guys that are late round splashes. And that's what Cleveland's doing. And when you look at the playoff, you look at the Bengals, look at Baltimore. Baltimore hits on a lot of late round guys that we don't talk about.
They do.
I'm still scared of Baltimore because they get J.K. Dobbins back healthy, man, and that
Hey.
guy could be a top 10 running back.
Hey, so what we got, and to me in the AFC, I laid it out for you. It's the first time in history that I think the team that's at number 7 could actually end up in the Super Bowl. Because,
Perhaps.
okay, so if you listen to the press, number 1 is Buffalo. Let's say Cleveland win the division. 2, the entire AFC West and the AFC North are going to be in the playoffs. Because I don't listen.
Well, somebody from the South got to go. They win the division. Tennessee going to win
Somebody
that
from the
division.
South got to
Tennessee
go.
going to win that.
I got the coach
Tennessee
winning.
may not win the division if the
I got
Colts win
the
the
coach.
division.
Yeah, it depends, man. I
So
gotta
what
see,
happens with
I
Houston?
got to see what the Colts, if the Colts can stay healthy, because we know Tennessee going to play that ugly style of football, and it wins.
But we got to see if your boy, you're right, if your boy coming back off injury.
Henry, that's the kicker.
If Henry, but all this ifs and ands, what happens if the guy from Houston comes out and plays lights out like he's the number 1 player in the country?
Davis Mills.
There's a reason why they didn't
He
trade
was a good
Baker
quarterback.
Mayfield.
He's a good quarterback, man. He
There's
got
a
a damn
reason why
good
Baker
quarterback coach.
Mayfield wasn't in that trade.
Hey,
There's
listen,
a reason.
Tony, I want to say Davis Mills. We talk about these second-year quarterbacks. You got Zach Wilson and Trevor Lawrence. He may be the best out of those guys, man. And I love Justin Fields, man, but I think he's in a perfect situation. Nobody's expecting much out of him.
I think Mac Jones the best right now. He
Ugh.
showed the most to me of all the guys. People,
You
can look at, but you got to
he had
remember,
his coach. He loses his coach,
he didn't have a lot of weapons either.
but he loses
A lot of
coach.
weaponry in New England to talk about.
Yeah, but he loses coach, and losing that coach makes a difference.
Yeah, but he had a good year for a rookie. He had a really good year for a rookie. He
He
played
got
well.
he got better weapons than Davis Mills because you look at Davis Mills outside of Cooks, he didn't have a running game. He didn't have a tight end. The offensive line was decimated. And not to mention how the organization itself is just not conducive for any player to be successful. When you got J.J. Watt speaking out against the Texans, you know that we talking about the golden boy of the NFL, and he even spoke out against the Texans. So Andre Johnson don't even talk, and Andre Johnson spoke out against the Texans. So really, the Texan organization, Davis Mills is going on an uphill trajectory. So I think that if you get him in there and you get him some type of running back, they didn't sign Dwayne Brown back at the tackle position. So I mean, what moves are they gonna make on that offensive line? So when you look at it, I think Davis Mills, a 6'5" kid, he didn't get sacked a lot. If you look back, he didn't, and you look at his last like 6 or 7 games there, he outperformed any rookie.
He was good. He was a 5-star quarterback coming out. He wasn't no slouch. He went to Stanford. He kind of got lost in the shuffle.
Yeah, he got lost.
They had a down year, but the dude can flat throw it. He can.
Oh yeah,
throw it.
He was a number 1 pocket passer in that
Rated in the year he came
class.
out.
I can honestly tell you guys that I believe the 2022 season will probably be the best pure season that we were. Now it's going to be hard because the NFL pulled something off that I've never seen done. They went an entire weekend of a playoffs, and every game ended on the last play of the game.
Yep.
The last play of the game.
Except for the Tampa Bay and Eagle game. That was the only one that didn't.
Yeah, that was the only game that didn't. And then that game got tight. But they had every game ended in the last play of the game. I mean, and they did it for like 2 weekends in a row where every game was a Tampa Bay versus the Eagles and Kansas City versus Pittsburgh.
Buffalo.
Were the only games.
That would blow. Yeah. Kansas City and Buffalo.
Kansas City. Yeah, it was
42 to 10
I'm
or
talking
something
about
like
Pittsburgh and Pittsburgh.
KC.
42-21.
Yeah, it was a blowout.
Those were the only games that
42-21.
were
Pittsburgh
weren't any good.
Pittsburgh shouldn't even been there though. Pittsburgh shouldn't even been there.
Yeah, they Baltimore would have been winning. They would have been there. But listen, we talk about all this, but the winners of the AFC was Cincinnati, and I think they're gonna struggle. I
don't even know if they're gonna make the playoffs next year. I don't. I really don't.
Well, let's be honest. Who they gonna beat in their division?
They beat the Pittsburgh.
The Steelers gonna be sorry? Think again. Their defense may be the best in your division.
They'll beat the Bengals at least split with the Steelers. Cleveland. One thing about Cleveland, Cincinnati can't beat Cleveland
they swept them, didn't they?
Yeah, we did. We swept. We actually are 7-1 the last 4 years against the Bengals.
And the Bengals get a first place schedule because they won the division, don't they?
That's a
So it's gonna
problem.
be a little
Yeah,
different for them. Be a little different
yeah.
for them this
It's
year.
gonna be.
They got to play.
They're gonna take a step back this year. I think they take a step back.
So guys, when we looking at this, when we at the draft and we doing the draft, hey folks, you tune in TD Report. We got Jody. I've met Jody online. I've never met Jody. I've never met him personally. I'll see him in Vegas. My man Dev. I haven't seen Dev in years, but we talk on this thing. Guys, we're gonna be in Miami with Cody running the guard position. We're gonna be in Vegas, and we're gonna be at FanDuel Sport and Social, covering the draft with fans all around. Cody's gonna be the only one without fans with him, but he's gonna have the Orange Bowl behind him. And what we're gonna do,
I'm jealous of that. So
no, you won't. Not being down there on that strip, you won't be. So what we're gonna do, folks, is we're gonna set this up for you guys, and we're gonna show you how well we can cover the draft, and we ain't getting paid no money. And you got clowns out here making millions of dollars. So this is the last time that we're going to be able to cover the draft for free, because we're going to be going after sponsorship money and going after people's money, because the knowledge of these two gentlemen on here will rival anybody else in the country, but they're not getting paid for it. They got to go work other jobs. It's a crime. TD Report, I call this, and they laugh at me. I said, we're the Wu-Tang Clan. See, because each one of these guys got their own brand.
no
But
doubt.
when they come together, we come together as a Wu-Tang Clan. Now, we ain't shooting and fighting and doing all that stuff at each other. But it's kind of like the Wu-Tang Clan. We're going to bring everybody together. Everybody go get their own little deals. Well, we're trying to get a big deal, because we can cover this draft every year. Next year, we'll probably be in KC at Gates Barbecue, getting that in and getting down. But, you know,
hanging
this
out
year,
with Big Kool-Aid, Andy Reid, and all them guys, huh, man? Yeah,
yes,
man.
indeed. And then maybe
man.
when Andy Reid step down and your boy take over the head coaching job by
Yeah,
then,
me.
because he might have to roll, because he ain't gonna have the cheater no more. So, guys, I'm just trying to get us ready for this draft. It's going to be the most, how should I say, the NFC East kind of controls the back half of the draft, seeing that you got the Eagles got 2 picks, the Redskins got a pick, but the Giants got 2 picks early.
Mhm.
I mean, that's a lot of picks in one division in the first round. It's 4 teams, and what they got, what? Well, that's 2, 4,
Seven,
they got
seven,
what?
seven or eight picks. 7 or 8
7 or 8
yeah.
picks.
Yeah.
But like I said in closing, if I may, Tony and Dev, like I said, the draft is. I don't think that when we get done in the next 3 days with the Deebo Samuel situation, these wide receivers wanting out of town, I can see the Jets not having 2 picks in the first 10. I think that 10th pick is going to be moved. I think one of the Giants pick is going to be moved. So don't. I think even one of them Eagle picks are going to be moved, because the Eagles are in the market of looking for another receiver too. So I can see. When the smoke clear, I don't think those 3 teams will have 2 picks in the first round.
I can see the Eagles trying to get DK.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I can see that happening.
I pray to God the Eagles go after DK and don't go after that damn fast-ass receiver from Alabama. Please, God. I'm not afraid of DK. I'm not afraid of nobody who try to muscle you up.
Tony said he don't want to play against
dudes
Jameson Williams.
that goes over the top, and he's stretching the team,
top off,
and now he's taking the top off. I'm not afraid of the big physical guys. I don't care about them. You can button them up. You put a helmet on them, and they start getting the alligator arm.
DK
But the
can
dudes
run
who
though,
can
man.
DK pretty fast, man.
DK is the K stand for Krispy Kreme. He's one Krispy Kreme away from being Zion. I'm not messing with DK.
Hey, he's my favorite player's nephew, Eric Metcalf. He's my favorite player's nephew.
Hey, you better tell him. You better tell Metcalf lose some damn weight, because that weight gonna be a problem when he's trying to get up in there with these damn quick ass corners.
Listen, we talk about the Manny family and the Barbers. Why are we not talking about the Metcalf family?
Because they're not white.
There it is.
Why are we not talking about the Edmonds family? All his sons in the pros. Farrell Edmonds' sons. Every last one of his sons in the pros.
Dev, I got one for you. What about the True Fonts?
Yep.
What about the Fullers?
Yep.
Yeah,
the Fullers too. Yep. Corey, Kyle, and there's one more, ain't it?
Yeah, and
they all went to Vitek, right? They all went to Vitek, didn't they?
All went to
Vitek.
Yep.
There's 4 of them.
One play,
Corey, Kyle, Kendall, And
Well, Corey is what's the name? Corey is Deion Sanders' best friend.
Word.
He coached high school down in Florida, and Deion tried to get him on the Jackson State staff, but he turned it down.
the guy that played in the Crab Bowl, what was his name? Kyle. I
Kyle.
saw him at the Virginia Tech game. He said, "You're a
Yeah,
free
he's a
agent."
problem.
I said, "You need to go to Dallas and go take over the dude who was acting like boys in the hood with the Cowboys
You
in the
talking
damn
about?
car shooting at
He
people."
talking
Kelvin
about
Joseph.
No, he talking about Anthony
Kelvin,
Brown. Oh, he talking
Yeah,
about
Joseph. He gone.
Joseph.
He gone.
he
He should not be
Yeah.
playing football.
But he got
no
cleared
more.
of all the charges, but he gonna get in trouble
Man,
by the
I
league now
don't
for
know,
being
but-
around. Yeah,
He got to go. He got to go.
Yeah. These guys got to think.
you ain't
man.
go.
They got to start using
So-
their head, man.
So, people like that got to go. So go get, Dallas, do something and get rid of those people like that, man. Y'all got to start changing something. Man, I'm tired of this, man. Well, your team, at least y'all got better management over there in Cleveland. At least y'all doing something. Dev
Now.
like the Washington team. He don't never claim them. He always talk about Alabama, but he like Washington. He don't be getting on here writing articles about them scrubs.
Nah,
I can wait
ain't nothing to
articles
talk
for
about.
them.
Ain't nothing but negativity, man. Ain't
But
no positive stuff.
But don't. I'm gonna go ahead and go on a limb. I know you probably because you one of those guys that very modest about them. But the Washington Commanders not in that bad a situation as far as roster wise. Now, as far as their organization, I don't know.
Behind
need
the
to-
scenes is a mess. Yeah.
He might need Dan Snyder may need to sell that team.
Need to sell. Tony said he need to sell it. Jeff Bezos need to buy it and let the people that know football run football.
Wait.
Down there
You
by the
think get rid
MGM
of their
and keep
best
it moving.
offensive lineman?
Sheriff,
Washington's
yeah.
best offensive lineman gone.
Sheriff went to Jacksonville,
You got a new quarterback,
right?
and your best offensive lineman gone.
Yeah.
Nah,
How about no? What really makes my stomach turn is the best left tackle in football is still probably Trent Williams, and we had him, the silverback. You take away, look at the Niners' offense when Trent Williams do play and when he don't play. He is
Big difference.
unreal on that as
He
a
did,
left tackle.
but remember he didn't want to play for the
Yeah,
Washington
because of how they handled him here. Because they handled him
No.
wrong.
because Cleveland was trying to get him. Cleveland was after
Badly
him real
run.
bad.
Yeah, Washington was in on trying to trade him there for a while. They were listening, but they didn't like the offer, which is dumb. I would have
Yeah.
traded him there. It was dumb.
Let me tell you something that you guys worded me up on. What I am afraid of in our division is that guy that came from Buffalo. If he turned Danny Nichols into the real Danny Dimes, it's going to be a problem up in that division.
Talking about
dude.
Brian Dable. He's
Listen,
good at turning. He's good at making
if he
quarterbacks
turns
look
that-
good. Don't
But
a lot of people don't want to give him no credit, but he's the guy that made Jalen Hurts start to play better.
Danny Dimes was rated as high as Josh Allen was. If he turns him into who he's supposed to be, it's going to be a problem with with Barkley back there.
hold on, Tony. I'm gonna go ahead and go against you on that. Regardless if he turns him around, he can't make his hands grow any bigger. If you look back since he's been in the league, he has the most
Fumbles too
fumbles.
much. He does. He fumbles a lot.
He get when you breathe on him, he fumbles the ball.
Wait, let me ask you something.
Tony, you there?
Kicked him out.
All right.
If you don't get hit,
Oh, there you go.
if you don't get hit, then you don't fumble.
He was fumbling. He fell without being touched. Come on, man.
Okay. My question is to you: if he doesn't get hit, he doesn't fumble. Remember, he's been playing without Barkley. You put Barkley back on that team, and you let those guys roll. The Giants ain't gonna be sorry.
But first of all, that's a huge if. Barkley has not played in 2 complete seasons. He has not played more than 5
Giants
games. per
got
season.
more upside than Washington.
Nah.
Their quarterback
may
got
have-
more upside. Barkley got more upside than anybody in their damn.
Gibson?
Barkley's way better than Gibson.
Right now? No. Right now, he is not better
Barkley
than Gibson.
just hurt.
No.
Barkley just
exactly.
hurt.
What's the best ability? Is availability. And Barkley is not providing that availability. Yeah, we know Barkley is a freak. Dad, we know Barkley is a freak. We know that.
Yeah, no doubt.
But if
we
you can't
we
play-
haven't seen that freak since his rookie year.
That's my point. Guess who have been
Seen
playing?
that freak since his rookie year, though.
Tony, who has been playing? Antonio Gibson, the last 2 seasons, he seen him. Listen, the last 2
seen that
seasons.
freak in 3 years, man. Yeah,
But
man.
hey, Dev, and you a Washington Commander fan. The last 2 seasons, Gibson's a top 10 running back in this league.
He's shown me more than I thought he had because I wasn't a big fan of making him a running back. I wanted him to stay at slot, but I guess
Barkley
they saw
is
something
one
that I
or
didn't see.
2 when he's healthy. I am
Who?
just telling you. Listen, dog. Listen. if Dallas is the best team in the division, I'm not afraid of Washington. I'm afraid of a healthy Giants because you know what the Giants always have? They always gonna play good defense. They always gonna do that. If that quarterback comes around and Barkley start running, they got enough on the outside to help them win.
But
With a
then
last play schedule.
listen, Dan, I'm gonna go ahead and say this to Tony over here. You keep saying health. You can't coach health. You can't. You a coach, Dev. I'm a coach. Tony, you play in the league. You can't coach health.
Okay, so wait a minute. If you can't coach health, then what is up with Wentz? If you think Wentz is going to be hurt, then.
But he hasn't been. Wentz played a whole season. He played 17 games last year, Tony.
And he was hurt half of the damn game.
But he played. He was on the field.
Okay, so Wentz played 17 games last year and was hurt half of them with the best running game known to man. So this year, what's going to happen when he ain't got that running game?
I didn't say that. I didn't say he was good. I just said he played every game. We can't say that because Antonio Gibson is a guy, if he gets opportunities, which he has, he's produced. He's been over 1,000 yards back-to-back seasons.
So
we can't get.
I will say this about the difference in the lines. The Colts ranked second, ranked sixth in run win rate and 10th in pass win rate. So the offensive line wasn't the problem. It was Heineke holding the ball too long more so than anything.
Okay, they lost their best lineman.
Yeah, but they
did, but they also got the guy from Carolina that was all pro a couple years ago.
Oh man, stop this shit from Carolina. You even get all these people from Carolina.
I mean, hey,
listen.
Andrew Newell. Isn't it Andrew Newell? Newell.
I don't give a shit if it was Munoz. Y'all keep getting people from Carolina like they were winning championships. Well, he always go down there. That's what he know. That's what he know, man. That's what Ron know, man. That's all he know, man.
But let me ask you guys this question. We can't agree that Terry McLaurin is a better receiver than Michael Pittman Jr., correct?
He's a better receiver than DK Metcalf, too.
Right. So now Carson Wentz this is going to be the first season since Carson Wentz been in the league that he got a receiver as dynamic as Terry McLaurin.
True.
But he got to get him the ball.
He can.
I think Carson Wentz is going to help De'Ami Brown break out. I think De'Ami Brown going to break out because now you got a guy that can actually throw the ball downfield.
Y'all got a dude that's supposed to be like Debo
and
Samuel.
Did y'all see what I wrote on Debo though? Did you see why Debo wanted to be traded? It's not all about the money. He said he tired of being used that way.
You damn right.
And he said what they're doing is they're trying to make his position a wide back so they don't have to give him the wide receiver money and split it down the middle between the wide receiver and the running back money.
I'm going to hit the Mutombo for you.
So I get why he's upset. No. He should be upset about that. He should be upset about that.
What happens when a running back's career? A running back's career is only 2 and 3 years.
Yeah,
Debo ain't going. I said that last year. Y'all was like, "Oh, Debo running down the thing. His bike gonna get taken from him. He ain't gonna be running like that no more when they hit his ass."
But Dev, this is the thing with Debo. I get what you're saying. You're making perfect sense. He doesn't want to split that running back. I want my money. I want a wide receiver pay. First of all, Debo Samuel need to play a full season. He has yet to play a full season.
He has been hurt.
That's the first thing. Second, all receivers cry about not getting the ball. Now he's getting the ball. Now you crying about it.
I think he's played in 38. 38 games out of 49 in his career. He missed 11 games.
Y'all can't be putting him in the backfield like Emmitt Smith, and now y'all talking about he hurt. Yeah, he's gonna be hurt running between the tackles.
This is the first year that he did that. Really, this year that he was a primary ball carrier. What I'm saying is every receiver, every diva wide receiver cry about getting targets and getting the ball. Now he getting the ball. Now he don't want it because he getting the ball where he don't want it. How many times?
He's funny because remember in the Cowboy playoff game, he told Kyle, "Get me the ball." And the next play he scored. I'm like, you got a coach that you tell get you the ball, he give it right to you.
He don't give it to you.
I ain't trying to lead that coach. That coach listens to me. I'm trying to chill.
Because how many times did we did not in Cleveland didn't treat Odell Beckham the way we should have treated freaking Debo? Stop it, man. Quick, just go. Stop it.
Hey, real quickly, remember this name. The Ravens are really in on a running back that from Potomac, where I coach at, named Tayon Fleet Davis. They're probably going to draft him to replace. He played at Maryland. Solid back, really good back, a good change of pace back from Dobbins. Because Gus Edwards in the last year his deal, and they're not going to pay Gus Edwards the money he probably going to get on the open market. So they probably will take a guy like Fleet. And Fleet going mess around and have a good 6 to 7 year career around the league, make himself some money.
Can I say something for you?
Go ahead.
How about Lamar Jackson playing in Seattle?
Ravens ain't trading that, man. Ray Lewis said if they trade him, he'll disown the franchise.
No. See, but don't bring Ray in this because I don't want to tell you what he said.
What'd he say?
I said this in front of Ray and them. I said, if they don't get the deal done. See, because you have to understand, the Ravens, the Steelers, the Packers, I don't mean to throw shade on their city, but them fans ain't going nowhere because ain't nothing else to do in them raggedy-ass cities. Where the hell they going to go? What the hell you going to do in Pittsburgh? Ain't nothing but in Pittsburgh but the Steelers.
Man.
Ain't nothing in Green Bay but the Packers. Ain't nothing in Baltimore but the damn Ravens. They ain't even got the little skipjacks no more.
Well, no, you got
All they
Camden
know is
Yards,
Ravens.
man. That's the best ballpark in the
And it's the
in
most
country.
empty ballpark in the world. It was 5,000 people there the other day.
And
Food
Baltimore.
is on though, don't they, Tony?
Come on.
The food up there good though, ain't Tony?
Hey, Dev, the
Dog, come
Orioles
on,
about as bad as my Reds now.
Man, hey, listen, dog. At least the Reds won a championship while most people were born. But I'm
1990.
telling you,
1990.
what
My
I'm
favorite team.
telling you right now,
Hunter
man,
Green though, don't they?
Yeah,
is
but
they're not
we
going to blow their
trash.
salary cap.
Dog,
They're not going to
yeah,
blow
dog.
their salary cap for him. They're not going to blow the salary cap for this dude, man. And Lamar Jackson, I love him to death, dude. Go get Kirk Cousins' agent and stop getting your mom as your agent.
Yeah, you gotta
Now,
stop
moms
doing that.
may make some good mac and cheese, some good fried chicken. That's fine. But moms don't know nothing about this stuff on this high-level stuff.
Yeah, everybody
Hell,
think they
we
Ray
don't know
Allen,
about
man.
that.
Everybody
We
think they
can do
Ray
better
Allen.
than Mom.
Ray Allen, the only dude I know that did every contract, but Ray Allen also got a degree in accounting and took CPA classes, so he didn't need nobody taking 10% from him. That's why he did his deals. You know what I'm saying?
I just hate that they probably not even taking Lamar Jackson's mom serious. I think that might be the real thing right here. They probably not even taking her serious.
Well, DeCosta said he can't even get Lamar to come to Baltimore. He said Lamar been in Florida the whole offseason. He said I can't even get him to come back this way to even talk. I said, what the heck? What? You better get that lucrative money, man, because you cannot step on the field without a new deal, bro. You're in the fifth year of your deal. You cannot step on the field. You can't.
Pete Carroll will pull the trigger. He will pull the trigger. And if he pulls that trigger, he will give up 2 first round. The ones they got for us, he going to get Lamar Jackson. What's the difference? What's the difference? Somebody tell me the difference.
Actually, it's no different. He actually might have a better competitive advantage
Lamar
in the NFC. And you got to think about he in the NFC, and the NFC is not as strong as the AFC. So he may go down there and have another MVP season in Seattle. Plus the media.
Listen, if I'm Pete Carroll right now, I'm paying attention to this because you guys have said Pete Carroll is dead. Seattle is dead. If Seattle gets Lamar Jackson, they're not dead. And I'm telling you right now, the little Hundley dude will be just fine in Baltimore. They don't have to change the system. He will be just fine. And they will go grab a Malik Willis and they keep moving.
Malik Willis is going to Carolina.
Not with those first round picks.
But you know what's funny? You know what's funny is the Ravens were competitive without Lamar, but they didn't win one game when he was hurt. So that helps him go in negotiations. So just take your butt in there. They didn't win. They was 8-3 when he got hurt, and they finished 8-9, didn't they?
Yeah, but the problem, Dev, is I think a lot of them games it looked like Harbaugh was tanking games. So he tanked the game against Green Bay when they should have just kicked the extra point. It was a lot of situations.
Well, he played analytics.
Yeah, that was
analytic
dumb.
guy. But
dumb.
I think at the end of the day, it helped Lamar because now it's saying Lamar's 38-12 as a starter.
Right.
38-12.
Mm-hmm.
I love him.
75% wins.
But Dev, he's 1-3 in the playoffs, man.
To the Chargers.
He 1-3.
To the Bills. He 1-2. Lost to the Titans. He 1-3.
Okay. He 1-3.
He
1-3. No, he's really 2, and he's 1-2 because he came in. Didn't he come in? Did he play that whole Chargers game?
He played. Chargers just.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he threw. And I'm gonna say this about him. In his first 2 playoff games, that dude got thrown to the wolves because they threw the ball 50 times in each game when they didn't do that all year. Greg Roman screwed that kid both times.
But hold on, when he played the Chargers, remember they made them adjustments and they put 6 defensive backs on the
Him a
field.
couple weeks earlier, so he
Yeah,
had
they-
to. They
had
got
the
behind,
formula.
and he had to throw the ball to come back. You're right,
Remember,
but
because they put like 3 safeties and 3 cornerbacks.
they went with very little linemen. They kind of went with like a nickel package the whole game, and kind of a
But
diamond.
well,
nickel
they were
package.
hurt because they beat them earlier in
They beat him like
the
2
month before.
or 3 weeks earlier.
2,
Yeah, they
3
beat him
weeks
out
before
there.
them. So
Yeah,
they got
and
a
what they
chance to
did is
see
they
him.
took Mark Andrews away. He didn't have his first option, and he struggled.
Yeah,
But did you see? You remember that game? It was played in January here, and it was warmer in Baltimore than it was in
San
LA.
Diego. Yep.
Mm.
Yep.
Than it was in LA.
You're right.
So it
Yep.
was
And
warmer
that's the
here.
game where
That's the difference.
that's the game where what's her name was in the Uber riding around on Lombard Street trying to find chicken wings and mumbo sauce. Melvin Gordon, and the Uber driver didn't know he was in the car. And she said, "You Melvin Gordon?" After a while, he said, "Yeah." He said, "We're gonna kill the Ravens tomorrow." And she was like, "Huh?" And he said, "Watch what the safety for the Chargers."
Derwin James.
He said, "Watch Derwin James take Mark Andrews out of the game." Mark Andrews had 1 catch for 8 yards.
Derwin James is very underrated, man. He probably might be the best. He might be the best safety in football right
The
now.
only tight end I've seen him struggle with, which everybody does, is Travis Kelce, and that's because Kelce just somehow with the slow moves always gets open. He look like he's not even moving.
But like I'm gonna tell you right now, the jury gonna be out on Kelce until I see him without the cheetah.
But hold
I
on,
need to see Kelce without the cheetah.
let
Better
me
for one another though, man. Kelce do his thing, man.
let me stop you right there, Tony, because you know that he was putting up numbers before the cheetah got there.
He was
okay.
He was putting up numbers. He
He was
was.
putting up numbers, and that was with Alex Smith at quarterback.
Okay, but I want to see you without the cheetah. Don't listen. Don't come at me with that shit when next year when they're struggling and they can't find people and motherfuckers ain't open and people ain't got no
He's gonna be the first
separation.
billionaire to ever play in the NFL. He's gonna be the first billionaire. Their quarterback is.
Well,
He's on his way to being a billionaire. He'll be a billionaire soon. He's on his way.
Well, he better get up out that. He better get up out that raggedy contract he in now, because that raggedy contract he in now, they ain't paying him no 59 and 61 million. They're not doing that.
Well, you know they're gonna restructure his deal probably in the next 2 years. They'll restructure.
Well, they
What
better
is he,
be
26
restructured.
years old? What, he 26?
He's 26. About when he's 28, 29, they'll restructure.
They're restructured.
Yeah, he got 10 years left because he don't get hit a lot.
Nah, he don't. And then with the rules, they're not gonna let him get
He
hit
got
because
10 good years left, man.
Whoa.
he's the face of football right now.
Yeah, he is.
See, okay. Cheetah changes the game. Cheetah not there no more. So we're gonna find out how they play them.
Hold on, Tony. Let me put this out there. We keep talking about how the cheetah is going to affect Patrick Mahomes, but how is the cheetah going? He's going to fall off. Now you leaving a top 2 quarterback in the NFL to go play with a guy we're not even sure he's going to be the starter at the end of the year.
He's gonna hold up when he gets hit. I love Tua, but Tua has a propensity to get hurt as soon as he gets touched.
That's what I'm saying. So and they do got a good offensive line, but do he have? I mean, we know Tua can throw the ball downfield. Go back to that Georgia championship game when he came in and threw that pass. But I want to see how effective the cheetah gonna be without Patrick Mahomes. We keep talking about how Patrick Mahomes is gonna be effective. Let's see what cheetah can do without him.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, listen, man. I think the cheetah was the most unique player in the league because you didn't know how to defend him. I mean, whatever you threw at them, they threw wrinkles to get him open and to do the scheme and to get him open. Let's see how Miami handles it.
But
I'm never going to throw Cheetah under the bus, but in the last 3 years, he led the NFL in drops.
Not
all
to
the
mention,
great plays he made, he dropped a lot of balls too.
Not to mention that he had a guy named Eric Bieniemy as his offensive coordinator. He had Andy Reid, who's one of the best offensive minds in NFL history. Let's see what those guys in Miami can do to be creative to get him the ball.
Yeah, and put him in situations to be successful. Yeah.
And if let's see, is he satisfied now that he got his money?
Well, you want to see what I'm gonna tell you, the Kansas City Chiefs offense is gonna be dynamic still because Ronald Jones is a damn good pickup at running back. That's a damn good pickup. And don't they still have the quick guy McKinnon?
They got McKinnon, and they also got Hardman, another Georgia guy.
They got Hardman that can do a little bit of everything. He can do the reverses and all that. And then you got Valdez-Scantling. You got a proven Juju Smith-Schuster. We know he can play. And they may get another receiver. I got them taking, if Jameson Williams isn't there, I have them taking the kid from North Dakota State, Christian Watson, who is a burner, who's got all the speed in the world, and will come in and he won't be asked to do a lot in his first year. He'll just come in and run the 9 route and take the top off the defense for them from time to time.
And not to mention, I think DK Metcalf is a guy that potentially still can go to Kansas City too. Let's
True.
not leave that out.
That's also very true
Can
as well.
can I ask you guys a question? I'm gonna send you my email. What we're gonna do, guys. So, guys, what we need to do is send the email. I need you guys to send Cody. I need Deb. I need Jody. I need you guys to send me your draft. What you looking at and what we're doing, because we're gonna print it out like we did last year. So
Okay.
when we did the show last year, and you saw us when we hit 28 out of 32, we had everything in front of us. Hell, we would have been almost perfect if they didn't throw us a curveball with the damn Horn and Surtain Jr.
How about
Surtain.
Darisaw? They messed up. They changed up Darisaw too.
Yeah, but we kind of called Darisaw when he didn't get drafted. We kind of knew that Minnesota was going to fall in line with him because we kind of knew, and we were getting it. We were getting it from the behind because
Well,
he was live with us.
See, that's
But-
why I want to see in the next 2 to 3 days where Debo Samuels fall, because that's going to really affect that draft.
That's a domino. That's a domino.
That's a
right
big
there.
one.
Once,
So
once that falls, then you'll see all the other teams start figuring out how they want to attack next week.
Because Tennessee already said they're not trading AJ Brown.
No, they said they've started contract talks with him yesterday, as a matter of fact. So,
Okay. So,
you know.
but back on Miami, the guy who was Miami, didn't he come from San Francisco?
Yeah, he did.
yeah, Mike
So
McDaniel.
he used Cheetah like they used Debo.
But then again, he's going to be crying like Debo.
See, I don't even know, but he never even called a play. Kyle Shanahan calling the plays. He never
That's
called
true.
the play the whole time, so we don't know what he really can do. He got a lot of credit because, of course, they're gonna make sure their boys get looked out for. But really, what did Mike McDaniel really do? We know DeMeco Ryans actually called the defense. We know that.
Right.
That dude actually dominant. He called a dominant defense. This
Well,
dude,
we're
Mike
gonna find
McDaniel, was the quarterback coach, and I give him credit for having Jimmy Garoppolo ready to play because Garoppolo got hurt and came right back, and nearly he got them one drive for the Super Bowl. So give him credit for that. But calling the plays, that was Little Shanny calling them plays.
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
Was
It's
it
gonna-
really?
It's going to be
Was it
Yeah.
really Shanahan?
Yeah, because if you look when Debo took the field against Dallas, he told Shanny, "Get me the goddamn ball." Next play, they threw the bubble and Debo scored.
Hey, but Dev, it was against the Cowboys though.
F y'all. F y'all. Fuck that. And they almost gave the game back too. They almost gave it back to us too.
Hey, Tony,
Well-
it's almost only as effective in horseshoes and hand grenades, man.
Whatever.
That got that whole play at the end, the referee, he didn't run downfield. The referee was taking his time. They was like,
He
The
was tired.
The referee was jogging like he had something to eat already.
He was tired, man. Listen, man.
but Garoppolo did all he could to give Dallas that game in the end. Boy, he threw that pick. I said, you know what?
Hey,
Dallas
dog.
gonna mess around and win. If they had got one more play with a shot to the end zone, I don't know if the Niners win that game. I'm telling you, man.
I'm gonna go ahead and say this though, and this what a lot of people don't like about Jimmy G. Man, he got 4 playoff wins in the last 3
Yeah,
years.
he do. Yeah, he do. Been to a Super Bowl and nearly got to another one. And if it wasn't for the fact that Aaron Donald wouldn't be denied,
I
he
ain't
would have been
messing
in the
with
Super
no
Bowl
Jimmy
again.
G. Jimmy G is scrub.
Listen, hold on. Hey, let's go back. The Rams, if Tark intercepts that pass that hit him in the hands, he would have had another playoff win.
Yeah.
Woulda, coulda, shoulda.
Hold on, wait, stop. How you gonna say woulda when it come to you, but when it come to
Oh,
me, I
yeah.
can't say it.
Oh, yeah, Korski did drop that interception, didn't he?
Yeah, he dropped it right in his
Tark had
hands,
that
man.
joint right in his hand. He did. Yeah, he
Right
did.
in his hand, man.
So if we're gonna
Yep.
play revisionist history, I sent y'all a text today. This day, 2 years ago, when they picked up Brady, I said Tampa Bay can be in
Yeah, I
the Super
saw it.
Bowl and could
I
win
saw
it.
Yeah.
Okay. Then last year, I said that the Rams were going
You
to
said
win
it.
the
You
Super
did. You
Bowl
called it. You
and
called
win
that
it
one
at
too.
home. Now, I'm not going to tell you Arizona's going to be there to pull a hat trick
No.
because I don't think Arizona is going to be the best team in the NFC. But, hey, it's working for them right now, man.
How?
Arizona's not
How?
they're not a bad team, dude. Listen, when they were healthy, they were the best team in the league.
They were 8-0 for the injury
Listen,
creep there.
they were 8-0, but let's talk about Kingsbury, who backs into every season, including when he was at Texas Tech. He does not know how to keep a team sustained for a whole year. Second of all, Kyler Murray's not happy. Kyler Murray, when your quarterback's not happy and he's 5'7", he need to get paid.
Damn.
Far as the receiver, you lost at running back. AJ Green, I hope they don't bring him back for another
They
year.
already did.
They did?
They
Oh, my
re-signed him
God.
the other day. He's back.
Oh,
He's back for
Lord.
another year. He's back. Yep, he's back.
Jesse. That's a Jesse. You got Christian Kirk.
Give him a check.
You got Christian Kirk, who he left town. He was effective
Jesse
in the
part
offense.
2.
Part 2.
Yep.
He's
Eric,
still in
What are they
Jesse
doing
mode.
with Ertz? Is Ertz still there?
Ertz is still there. He's still
Signed
there.
the deal.
He Ertz had over 90 catches last year. And I don't know
Ertz is
why
a day. He's still a good tight end.
Philadelphia basically got robbed, but Philadelphia gave him away too.
So do you
Yeah.
put your money on Arizona to get to the Super Bowl?
No, because I don't. Because
Hell nah.
Kingsbury can't get it done, man.
Hey.
He's the problem there. He's
Hey,
the problem.
Tony. Hell no. Hell no. They won't even make
Arizona or
the playoffs.
Dallas?
Dallas.
Over Arizona?
Yes.
Yeah, Dallas. You know why? Because I don't trust Cliff Kingsbury. I trust Mike McCarthy more than I trust Kingsbury.
I trust
And
Michael Parsons.
I trust Dan Quinn more than I trust. Dan Quinn's defense played great last year for Dallas. It was
And see,
great.
Dev is correct because Mike McCarthy still has a Super Bowl under his belt.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
You didn't get that without Aaron Rodgers, though.
Oh,
But Aaron Rodgers ain't won without him either. Tony.
Come on, man.
Aaron Rodgers ain't won without him either.
You got that right. And he done had number 1 teams, too.
Yeah,
He done had
lost a
couple
whole
number
lot
1
of
teams.
championship games without Mike McCarthy too. Yes, he has.
But you know what? I think Green Bay likes where they are now because nobody's expecting anything from them, and that's when they win. Remember, they won the Super Bowl that year. They were like a wild card that year.
They were the 6th seed.
They were 6th seed. So
Yep.
they need to, because that being number 1 seed, ain't nobody afraid to go in Green Bay no more.
Yeah, because they got
That's
in
not
and they
the
won.
old
They
Lambeau
won at
Field.
Philly. I think they beat Michael Vick and them at Philly. Then they went down to Atlanta and ran roughshod over the number 1 seed Falcons. And then they got the
tore
Bears at home, and
Bears
B.J.
at home.
Raji picked off Jay Cutler and ran it in. They won the
Yeah,
championship.
man. When you knew they were playing Jay Cutler, it was over.
And the Super Bowl, they lost their whole secondary, and that's when Greg Jennings and the white boy Jordy Nelson,
Jordy Nelson killed
They
him.
went crazy.
So
And then-
it worked out perfect for him. Styles make fights, man.
They do. They make
And-
fights.
And they ain't been back since.
Speaking of that Super Bowl you mentioned 2 years ago when the Chiefs played the Niners, the highest rated recruit in that game was Sammy Watkins, the 5-star receiver. He's now with the Packers. That's who Aaron Rodgers said he wanted all along. But you got to say that because you ain't got nothing else. You got to make it sound like that.
Okay.
Because
When the last time Sammy Watkins played more than 10 games in the season?
I don't know. Last time he made a play was when he
Clemson?
made it.
When he was at Clemson.
Yeah, dude get hurt all the time. Last time I remember Sammy Watkins making a play was the 2019 playoff run. He caught a couple touchdowns and that. He made the biggest catch in the Super Bowl though when he broke on the sideline against Sherman 1-on-1, and he told Sherman, "You can't run with me," and he ran right by him. But he ain't did much since then.
I think
Ravens had
the
him.
Cheetah made the biggest catch on 3rd and 17.
Oh yeah, Cheetah did make
Wow.
a huge catch. That was
He made a
Catch
big
was
catch.
big, but don't forget the catch to Watkins got them to score to kind of break the dam. That was a big over the top throw with Sherman running his mouth, chomping and stuff, and he smoked him.
And that's why your boy Jimmy G, they will never forgive him for those 2 throws in the Super Bowl. Never forgive him.
He had-
they
he-
haven't forgiven
he
him.
had him. He had him wide open, man. Right
Manuel
across.
saying this. Then he had the tip ball. Then he had the ball that got tipped.
Yeah, if he had
It should
just
have been touchdown.
So-
Both of them should have been touchdowns.
he'd took a
So,
little bit
guys-
off of it. All he do is he take a little bit off of it.
Sanders
So-
ran right by the secondary. He got right behind it.
So for the people who are watching, as you can see, these guys here, you know, they used to call me Black Rain Man. I'm getting old, man. I'm turning it over to these young dudes. You guys on here, I want you on draft night to be so sharp. My Mel Kiper, my Todd Mache, I want you to pound it so hard that somebody on Spotify, somebody can see you guys and pay us to do this. Because you see, we love it. We're doing it because we love it. Those dudes doing it because they getting paid. And they got people in their ear. You don't understand. They got people in their ear. So, Dev, when you guys are out there at Maryland Live, Pressbox Live is going to be there. I want you to show them up because the manager, my man Corey, he going to put y'all on display. I want you to show them up. And if Jody and us can give you firsthand knowledge of what's going on behind the scenes, because me and Jody going to be right there behind the scenes. I'm going to be relaying stuff to Jody. Jody going to be relaying to me. And we all going to be on the show. We're going to be able to hear what's going on, if they changing, if somebody doing something here and there. we're gonna be very active at that. We're working. People think we're going out there to have fun, but we
Nah,
actually
this
working.
this is business, Tony. And
This
Dev,
business.
like I said, Dev, I know Dev does his own research, and that's what I love about Dev too. Reading his
Oh yeah, I know
articles.
you do yours too, man. I be hearing
Yeah.
you on the way me and you flow off each other is dope. I
Yeah,
be picking up on what you be saying. Yeah, yeah.
and that's beautiful, man. It's beautiful, and I keep complimenting because his mind, his sports mind, is just like, man, it's right there. I we've it. I'll sit there. We've been on here for 2 hours.
Yep.
And I could probably go another 4. My phone about to die, but
Me too.
like,
Mine about to die too, bro.
but
Got
like
like 3% left.
with Dev, man, his sports knowledge, and he does his own research. You got guys at ESPN and Fox and all these other networks. They got people doing it for them. I work 12 hours a day. Tony already know I hardly get the day off. So I got to do this on working 84 hours in a week. You see what I'm saying? And I love it. And I know Dev love it, and Tony love it, and Dave love it, and Cody loves it, man. And I appreciate everything you've done for me already, Tony.
Yeah, appreciate you,
man.
man.
Listen, dude. Like I said, man. I'm just trying to get it right. But listen, man. It's some things on here, dude, that I think that we're going to kill these people, and nobody's going to understand how we're going to hit them hard on draft night. I want you guys to go look at us from what we did on draft night last year. We pounded them so hard, people were hitting us, and really, Dave and Cody were the ones that had all the stuff. I was just going off a feel from what I saw, but I want people to hear what we got right here. See this? That's who we are, baby. We Wu-Tang. That's how we gonna run it from here on out. We Wu-Tang.
Hey Tony, I'm gonna give you
we together.
I'm gonna give y'all a what you call a hidden gem list, like 2 or 3 guys from each round that people aren't talking about that could really probably help a team right away. You know what I mean? Some of these HBCU guys, some of these guys that play at the the FCS level that people aren't talking about. We always talk about the Power 5 guys. I mean, that's cool. That's gonna make up the bulk of the draft. But I like to get the other guys nobody talking about some shine.
The smaller guys that
because there's a lot of good players, man, that are doing their thing at the FCS level. And like Dion said, he expecting 8 to 10 players from the SWAC to get drafted. He said, if not, at least get free agent deals and get on a roster. So that's big.
But you know what, Dev? Now these are Power 5 guys that don't get a lot of love. I got a couple guys, man. I'm gonna go ahead and say it because I done fell in love with Rashard White at Arizona State. Man, I think he's gonna be a stud in this league. Justin Ross at wide receiver, man. He was hurted. He had a fabulous freshman year.
Killed us in the championship.
Hey,
Killed
listen,
Alabama.
Man. He had a couple down years because the quarterback play wasn't the same. Those are my 2 guys, man. They're gonna help teams immediately when they get into the league, man. They're gonna help teams.
My guy is Dev. His phone went out. My guy is Desmond Ridder from Cincinnati. That's my ultimate guy for this draft. I really think he's gonna be the best quarterback in this draft. But man, hey, it was great, man, having you, man. Monday night we're gonna kind of do a run through.
Okay.
We're gonna be at the casino, so we're gonna kind of do a run through. But yeah, I just want to make sure, man. I'll let you know where I'm staying. I'm be booking that this weekend. I'm headed up. Folks, we're heading up to New Jersey for the Haskins Celebration of Life. Want to say, our hearts are with the family right now. He's having a ceremony in Pittsburgh tomorrow, and he's having one in New Jersey and then one at Bullis on Sunday. So the next 3 days is going to be dedicated to my man Haskins. So,
absolutely,
family and everything, man, is, Ohio State, that's your thing, but he's from Jersey, he's from the DMV, that's where he plays. So we all connected to him some kind of way.
They did a beautiful thing for Haskins at the spring game. CJ Strauss had his number. It was just heartwarming. My little brother was actually there, man, and it was heartfelt. We love him in Ohio State, man. He was a fabulous young man. Forget the football aspect of it. The things that we knew about him around campus, the things that he did, the heart that he displayed, man. Listen, man, I hate that they put them dumbass reports out there about him, man.
Yeah.
He was a good young man, 24, full of life, man. So Ohio State loved him, man. Great family, man.
Great family.
Ohio State loved him, man. He didn't have I didn't hear any bad press about that young man ever. So for what they wrote about him is ridiculous, man. That's not fair.
Yeah. That it ain't fair. And for all the people, all you, and I had to talk to one of our guys on here. He was friends with another guy. I had to talk to him about another guy who came out and laughed and said, told me to get over it. I'm like, really? Get over it? And you making comments about this dude and he's dead? You know what, man? If you and I'm being real, the guy's a big supporter of our show. If it's your friend, check him, man. Because if that was my friend and that happened to somebody I knew or his family, I would check him. I listen, I'm gonna be real with anybody. I don't give a shit if you don't mess with us again. You don't check your people. Check your people, man.
Mm-hmm.
Check your people because you don't do that because death is final. And if you don't understand that, that's on you, dude. That's on you. I ain't mad at you. That's on you. I check people because
No doubt.
death is final. So it's crazy, man. It it hurts, man. It was hurtful. When you have people that are doing stuff like that, man, it's really hurtful, man. So that's how I am. That's just me, Jody.
No
I'm
doubt.
I'm like that, dude. So you know, as we get ready to go and get ready for to get to Vegas, man. I hope when we get to Vegas, we're gonna do it right, do it the right way, have fun, yeah, and listen to some Wu Tang because that's who we are, baby.
No doubt. But
That's
I'm,
who we are, baby.
my
The
phone about to
the
cut
Wu
off,
Tang Clan.
man.
All right, baby. It
So I
was good
appreciate
talking
it.
to you.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Peace.
See you next week. Tune in for us. We're gonna be live from Vegas at the draft. Tune in and make sure you check us out. All right, baby. See y'all, man.